Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Nerd of All Trades, podcast where we talk a little bit about movies, just talk a lot of shit. I'm your host, Tyler Birch.
I'm Juan the newbie.
This is J. Fred, the engineer.
Yeah, this is just Derek again.
I don't know, a little bit of hope. It seems to die in your voice every time you say it.
I mean, that's fair, though.
That's just me every day, dude. Like, I don't want to tell you.
This is the real Derek.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Known him for almost 8 years now.
And now you fans get to know me, too.
I'm sorry. This week is our Kaiju and Robots episode. So we're going to be talking about the Godzilla franchise. So we're here to talk a little bit about a really terrible really terrible rubber suits. Ooh. So like every episode, we always start with a nice friendly game of Pitch Storm. So we're going to kick it off with Juan as the executive, and J. Fred's going to be the first person.
You got to open your phone, the timer. There we go, baby. All right. You
Ready
ready,
to rock?
J-Fred? You ready to rock?
No, not at all.
But are you ready to roll?
Sure, why not?
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this story is about a high school kid who is super kind of loner, and you end up finding out that they're hiding a terrible secret. And the secret is they're torn between marrying to please their family or joining the army to save all of China, which, as you can
All right,
imagine...
I'm going to stop you right there. How can you make the protagonist more endearingly clumsy? Before you get to the meat and bones of your story.
Oh, I forgot to mention that it's a romantic comedy and creature feature decks that we're using.
You ready?
Sure.
Let's kick it off, baby.
Okay, so like I said, torn between marrying to please their family or joining the army to save all of China. So of course they want to join the army just because that's cool. They want to save the whole country, but they keep like fumbling over stuff and like knocking spears over and hurting other people that they're not intending to. And damn it, that was pretty freaking terrible.
I don't know, dude. You being endearingly clumsy about pitching that.
See, that's how I made it endearingly clumsy.
Are you the main character?
Yes, it was all planned.
It was me.
You ready?
No, D-Rock.
You ready, Derek?
Yeah, I think so. Don't call me that. No, I'm kidding. Don't you call me.
What'd you call him?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to call him that anymore.
All right, you ready?
I'll never be able to hear it because I don't listen to these episodes. All right.
It's in the first 3 minutes. You listen to the first 3 minutes.
All right. Let's go.
All right, so we open up to the middle of a village, and there's a funeral going on for a teenage boy. Now,
Aww.
the people of this remote village are surrounded by haunted woods, and they realize at this funeral that they're all in love with this boy. And therefore, they all start killing each other and luring...
Right. So I like that idea of loving each other. How can we make this entire movie end in a wedding?
Wait, what isn't this a...
I was already headed there, don't you worry.
You already headed there?
Wait, just for me, this boy is dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
there we go.
they're all in
All
love with the dead boy, and so they're trying to kill each
I
other.
just want to make sure I had the right level of intrigue and outrage.
Is this one of the two dead boys who shot each other?
And so the way it ends up going is this actually turns into some sort of sick, twisted game so that the last villager alive actually wins the prize, which turns out to be marrying the dead boy.
My goodness.
So, very sick people in the middle of these haunted woods, but, I don't judge other people's lifestyles. Not my place.
Your movie sounds like a music video for My Chemical Romance is what it sounds like.
Honestly, it sounds like an episode of
You
Robot Chicken.
better not be
now,
saying
but-
something bad about My Chemical Romance.
I'm not saying nothing bad.
MCR for life, bro.
Word.
Who are they?
Oof. I'm sorry. Oh.
You can get your knife out all you want. I don't take it back. I'm not even going to take it back. I'm not an MCR fan.
If you
As
want
much emo music as I love and listen to, not them.
If you want Derek's personal address, please pay $50 on our Patreon.
Right, you know what? I welcome the challenge.
That's the third tier.
If you
is
send me a
doxed
video
you.
of whatever you do to him, I'll give you the address for free.
The third tier is $50
You know what I'd
for
say? Like in the
doxing
great state
Derek.
of Texas, I'm not afraid because of gun ownership. It's like, I don't like guns and I don't own a gun, so fuck. I'm fucked. I have a cat that'll claw you up. A guard cat. There we go. While I sneak out the back door.
You ready, big fella?
I
you
guess
ready?
I am, yeah. All right, so there's a fraternity on a weekend retreat in the woods.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, pretty spooky setting. Well, it turns out they switched bodies with their crush. So there's an entire sorority that they had fallen in love with. They just switched bodies with. Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought you were signaling a pause.
I was waiting for
You know, it sounds like a stupid comedy that I'd watch, honestly. Like,
Right, so I like where this is going. Let's make this a retelling of Romeo and Juliet.
oh,
People love those.
I wanted
Yeah,
to hear
people
where it
love
was
Romeo and
going.
Juliet.
Agree, disagree. All right.
You ready?
Yeah. So throughout the course of the movie, you know, first of all, you get all the boob grabs because they're fraternity dudes. So
Mhm.
naturally, but there's these two, you know, that they were switched, and in the end, everybody switches back except for them, and so they have to live with themselves while being, you know, in each other's bodies, and eventually, like, they can't handle it anymore, so they off themselves.
It was all a dream.
I was sitting here, I was like, how is this
I
tying
don't
into
know.
Romeo and Juliet?
No, I don't know. Like, that one was hard. That was.
So we have the frat guys doing the boob grabs. Do we have the sorority girls doing the helicopter thing?
In the sequel.
Oh,
Stay
yeah.
tuned.
Cool. Yes.
This is a franchise, okay?
How do they
I
run
like
with
it.
so much drag?
See, I don't know who wins this one.
No, you're the one that has to make the choice.
Exactly,
so.
I do have to make the choice, but they were all pretty close together.
See, as soon as I saw I was like, fraternity in the woods, like, this can be good. And then I see switch bodies with their crushes, and I was like, an entire fraternity? Like,
Like when mine meets the love of your life at a funeral, I was like, and then an entire village of people. I was like, okay, well, this is gonna get weird.
Well, heck. I have to say between Derek and Tyler,
That's fair.
because you had a pretty tough one, and you did stick
you
it
weren't
out.
endearing enough.
Yeah, you did stick it
Yeah.
out, but it was.
Endearing's not really my best quality.
Maybe with your
See, I want to
crusty
give it to
ass.
Derek, but Derek always fucking. I'm gonna give it to Tyler.
What do you mean I always
Yes.
win? Tyler wins
Yeah.
every one.
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
always the
about.
I don't want
exec.
to the bout, baby.
I know
Let's
what you're
go.
talking about.
I'm pretty sure
I don't
Tyler
know
has
what
won the
we know.
most of anybody.
Oh yeah, like I've only actually played the game twice. Every other time I'm the exec. What
That's fair.
do you mean I always win?
Maybe
Anyways,
next time I'll be exec so I don't have to lose.
anyways,
One strategy.
that was Pitch Storm.
Tyler, I'm pretty sure 5, and everybody else 1.
I have one like off the record.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't
You still
fucking
hanging on
count.
to the pre-episode
Yes,
1 days?
I am.
Yeah,
Is the
and
one
you know
that
what?
I won the only one that you
No,
have
okay,
lost?
so I won
Doesn't
4.
count.
Okay.
Everybody else won 2, because you two have,
Okay.
you may never win one in your life.
Not on record. At least.
Not
I was going to say, he won before the first episode, allegedly.
He blew his load.
Allegedly, we were all
Allegedly.
here.
It's going to be 100
They
episodes
weren't.
from
They
now.
don't know.
That's true.
I hate you guys.
I
It's
also,
our word against
I was here and I
nothing.
have no idea what you're talking
Play
about.
back the
so.
tapes.
All right.
Picture
back
it
the
didn't
tapes.
happen.
Play back the tapes.
Hold on, I'm just setting up the decks again, just so they're nice and neat.
That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Godzilla.
Exactly. We're here to
Yeah.
talk about Godzilla. Let's kick it off then.
All right. Anybody want to go first for the movie pitch?
Movie pitch.
Yeah. Ooh, the movie pitch segment. Ooh.
I
see,
suppose
that's the
I could
segment
go
I forgot.
first.
That's the one you need creativity for.
I know.
All right, Derek's going last.
Go first,
All
James.
right, let me see what I can come up with in a few minutes.
All right. So, you know how in the Godzilla movies they refer to Godzilla and all the other monsters as titans?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I had this thought about having...
Thanos in it?
Clash.
Thanos in it?
No.
Can you let him spit
Definitely
out his
not.
thing?
So if you had like archaeologists, or I mean, I say archaeologists, they always get the brunt for this kind of stuff. But somebody finds something that summons like gods or spirits that are like the Greek gods, and then the Titans end up fighting the gods. Think about that.
So I was right. Clash of the Titans was where he was going with this.
Pretty much,
Clash,
yeah.
Clash of the,
Yeah.
Clash of the Titans with Godzilla.
Okay, so wait, so we're talking like the Kronos and all them, or like different gods?
We're talking about
Like
the Titan.
the way I
got
see it.
Okay.
It would be like
Check yourself.
spirits or demons or something like that in ancient Greece were thought to be gods. They were actually demons. They somehow got banished, or maybe they just left our world or our universe and then decided to come back. Those details aren't really that important. It's just the fight of who were the gods versus the Titans. It's the second battle of the Titans, really, which the Titans lost the first one. think they got trapped underground, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I mean, in the Disney's Hercules, yes. Yes, they did.
Well,
Which
wasn't
Titans are
talking
we
about-
talking about, though? We're
Talking-
talking about Monster Titans, or are we
Well,
talking
we're-
about God Titans?
so we're talking about the Monster Titans,
but he's kind of
who
like
were,
alluding to.
yeah, like
Like saying
basically
maybe the
drawing a
Greeks-
strong parallel to the Greek mythology Titans and gods, and saying, oh, they thought that these were like the old gods and the new gods, but they're really monsters and demons or whatever.
So you're saying like Greek mythology was really like Godzilla all along?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That'd be pretty fucking
All right.
cool. I like to see.
Sorry,
Zeus
it wasn't clicking with me. So
So
I
with
understand.
Godzilla supposedly being a quote unquote sometimes good guy, how would that tie into like being a Titan?
I mean,
Well, I
we
guess
could-
there was one or two that were okay.
Yeah.
I take it back.
which one like helped him out?
Prometheus?
Okay.
Prometheus was a good one. Gaia was a good one. Or I guess she was primordial. Don't get me started on that. I like mythology.
I feel like we're gonna get. I feel like we're going for a loose adaptation of the Titans.
I don't know. I
like-
fucking love his idea though.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool, like to like tie it all back. So, would this be taking place like in the before time, or is it like just like
That could really go anytime.
I was thinking like current
current? Okay.
or maybe a little in the future, but you know, modern-ish.
Okay.
Kind of
I
like
could see it though. That'd be cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Just realizing that what they thought were gods were actually these
Alien monster things.
yeah, terrible, terrifying creatures that you could see why they would think they were gods back then. But yeah,
Fucking destroy.
I think that could be a
enemies.
really awesome
So you're
fight. You could
saying-
have a whole lot of story build up between, and could be a good movie.
So the
Obviously, I
gods
don't know
would
the
basically be
details.
like a whole new team of kaijus we've never seen.
Yes.
And all the ones from the current movie, those were all Titans.
Yes.
Okay. So I've come up with a bunch of new ones.
That'd be pretty cool. Fucking
And
Hades.
new ones that have some kind of a loose connection to what we know of the Greek gods.
Something with lightning.
Yeah.
Something with water.
Something with fire.
A giant seahorse would be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Basically.
Sounds terrifying.
I mean,
There's already a giant like crawfish. Had a giant seahorse to the mix.
was there a giant crawfish?
I forget what his
not in
name
the
is.
ones
He's got a
we've
weird
seen.
name.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, ones I've seen. Okay, cool.
and the old Japanese ones.
Yeah, in the old
Yeah.
Japanese
Yeah.
ones. He's not really important. He came out like once, and it was just this big crawfish.
Sounds. There's a dinosaur like that too.
Is it really?
Yeah, apparently there were some huge crustaceans way back in the prehistoric days.
Dang.
Supposedly, allegedly.
Allegedly. All right. So now I got one question for you.
yeah.
Tell me more about the demigods in this world.
Oh,
Or is there going to be
Mm.
demigods?
Hadn't thought
Kong.
specifically about demigods, but
half Titan, half monkey. King Kong.
The Rock is Hercules.
The Rock is
There
Hercules.
you go.
The Rock has to be Hercules.
That's the one thing I came up with just now. So,
I don't know how you brought that. How you figured that out?
I mean,
from the movie, he was in he's Hercules.
well, he's older and wiser now, and I would go and see it just because he was in the movie, honestly. So,
He seems to be in those
Rampage.
like he seems to be in like those
yeah.
big monster movies right now.
I really
Yeah,
liked
be
the
in whatever
game
you can,
Rampage.
like-
I was kind of disappointed with the movie.
Rampage?
Mm-hmm.
Same.
It was
I mean, you're
alright.
basing it off of a game that doesn't really have much of a story. So
That's
I mean,
true.
They
It's
can kind of go
destruction.
whichever
That's
way
very
they.
true.
Oh yeah, it was based on a game, dude. I didn't even think about that.
Leave now.
I completely no, because I knew that Rampage was a game, but
I'm
I'm
so
like,
glad
this
you
is
brought
so
that up.
weird.
You want to know something fascinating?
What?
Godzilla King of Monsters did not make as much as Rampage at the box office.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, Godzilla.
Although that does kind of prove my point about The Rock bringing in people.
Bringing in the money.
Well, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Bringing
because
in
it
the
was
fucking money.
Most popular in Hollywood.
if I remember correctly, King of
For good
Monsters
reason.
made 386 million, and the Rampage made like 400 something.
See,
I'm
I think
surprised Rampage did that good, honestly. Not
No,
that
it did.
not that I didn't enjoy it, but again, yeah, like loose,
No,
very
it-
weak
it blew
story. and-
expectations.
Rampage is a
like-
pretty
Yeah.
cool game, anyways. Like I think whenever they gave the wolf wings, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I love. No, it wasn't that part that made it funny. It was when
The
The Rock was like,
reactor.
"Of course, the wolf would have wings."
Yeah, he just fucking.
I was just like, "That's what I would be like too." Like these
True.
genetic
That was just so
monsters, and I would
funny.
just be like, "Of course, this fucking happened." Like,
His fucking wings.
What was the third one?
It was a big alligator.
Okay, yeah.
Big gator.
Yeah.
It was the gorilla, the wolf, and the big alligator.
Yeah, because they switched it to more of a gator versus
Yeah.
that lizard
Yeah.
they had in the game.
Big
Yeah,
old
a
gator.
little less infringement on Godzilla.
yeah, because it does look kind of like a little bit.
Alright, awesome.
Okay, cool.
That's a very interesting take on it. Yeah.
Yep. I thought about it and I was like, okay, I'm going to do just enough research that I can make sure that this isn't already like a Godzilla movie, but there are way too many details for me to even start getting too far into it. So
Yeah, there's always some random like civilization that was like, yeah, these guys are the greatest, and it's like, were they though?
Yeah.
Like, because they came to our world and they kind of destroyed it in like 2 seconds. So were they really like benevolent gods? Like,
yeah.
well, maybe they don't notice you. Like,
I mean, history is never flawed, though.
it's true.
All right.
You're right. I take it all as gospel.
Jesus.
All right. You want to go first or
Sure.
next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I would remake the second Godzilla, like the second modern Godzilla movie with more kaijus that people know. Because, like, you had
You're talking about King of Monsters?
King of Monsters, yeah. I feel like there should have been more. There was only Rodan, King Ghidorah, Godzilla, and Mothra, which are pretty cool.
And
feel
the little crab spider thingy.
Man, nobody cares about the crab spider.
Well,
and then
like, you get like the
wasn't there-
glimpse, like.
Yeah, you get like glimpses. That's what I didn't like.
I
Is
mean,
you
but
get,
how many villains can you really have in it?
Yeah,
Especially
that
when
seems like-
Ghidorah is supposed to be the focus of it.
That's too much screen time, I would think.
A lot of special effects,
feel
too.
like there is.
All right, here we go. Justify it.
Justify it?
Justify to me how this would work.
Because I feel like they haven't given Godzilla in modern times like justice, especially in the first Godzilla movie when they showed fucking like the weird Mutus.
Because look at him, dude.
So,
They
He's a
weren't-
giant fat
he
T-Rex
looks
with a little
he looks
head.
freaking cool.
so why
Just
not remake the
To
first one?
clarify, you're saying the first of the Hollywood Godzilla movies.
yes,
Okay.
not the first of the like original
the second
Japanese
of
ones.
the Hollywood
Yeah.
ones.
Which is like the third most recent of
Yes.
a
Yeah.
large number of movies.
Yeah,
Okay. Just making sure.
yeah. We don't talk about the one where he looks like a dinosaur. That was kind
I
of.
mean,
weird.
he's gonna be
Oh,
talking about
that's
the
the
one.
one. That's the only
That's the
one
one
I'm
you're gonna be talking about?
That's the only one worth watching.
I like when he lays eggs. That's about it. He lays eggs, and there's like big velociraptor ones that come out. That's
Sorry, I
about
didn't
the
mean to
cool part.
derail your.
No, you definitely just derailed it entirely.
I was
Uh,
getting
It buys
really.
me time. I'm okay with this.
I was getting really focused in on the first one. I was like, the first one? Oh, he's not talking about the first one. He's talking
I'm
about
talking
the
about the
first
Hollywood
of the
ones.
recent ones.
Yeah,
Cool.
I guess I would start with the first one, then thinking about it, and like, so would it make sense going to the second one? Yeah, the first one you would remake it, and not fucking make. Nobody cares about no goddamn Mutus. You want to see like the cool ass freaking. Like I would have even accepted what's his name?
Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a Mecha Godzilla in the second one would have been so cool, but instead we get like this big freaking like
Yeah,
jet
no.
plane.
Would have
You
made a
don't
lot of
say-
sense in the second
You don't
one.
say we're gonna join the fight. The humans
And
are
then
gonna join the
freaking-
fight, and then it's just some
It's a big
giant
jet.
bomber. No,
It's like where's
No.
Mecha Godzilla?
you don't say like, oh yeah, this thing
That's a-
happened so
That's
like
a guy
many
that I
years
would
ago.
add.
Like,
That's one of the ones that I would add on the second one, and it wouldn't take away any more screen time because it would just replace the jet.
yeah,
It would be
would
Mecha
just-
Godzilla.
And it would have been such a cool reveal. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like, it could have just been like, holy shit, they bought, like, of course they build their own. Like, they put so much research into the Titans. Why wouldn't they build their own? We're humans. We're always wanting to make something that's like.
That is true.
And these ones, these newer ones, what were their origins again? Were they always here on Earth?
They
Just-
were,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they were always
The
there.
one where they came in through the rift, that was Pacific Rim.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
specific.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah.
Making sure.
They ruled the Earth like millennia ago.
Yeah,
Back when there
whenever-
was like high levels of like radiation in the air and stuff.
Yeah, that's what justifies Godzilla's radiation breath beam, which is a cool scene in the first movie when he like starts like charging up his
Boom, boom, boom.
yeah, that was,
Yeah.
I love the freaking the sound
That
effect
was a
for his
good scene.
blast. But yeah, I wouldn't make it Mutu. I don't know who I would make it. I guess I would say Gigan, but Gigan makes more sense with King Ghidorah. Because like King Ghidorah and Gigan were like originally canon. They like came from space.
Who's the biggest villain that he has?
King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
It is
King
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah is,
Yeah,
a,
that's
is
kinda
the
what I
bigger one.
figured.
King Ghidorah is the apex predator
So
that
does
came
that
from
mean
space.
we're not expecting a third of these?
I really
kind
It
of.
depends on how Godzilla versus King Kong does. Because
Oh, I
that
forgot
one,
about
one
that,
is
yeah.
already green lit and they've already started working on it
No, yeah,
before
that
the
one.
box office haul. So if it does well enough, I think we could see another Godzilla in that series, like Godzilla series. Because they teased at the end of King of Monsters with the Ghidorah's head that it wasn't over. So
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
yeah, the one that got
completely
ripped
forgot
off.
about that. Yeah.
Because
Does
then
that mean we're gonna get
Tywin
Mecha
went
King?
and found it.
Does that mean we're gonna get like the possibility of Mecha King Ghidorah?
Okay, if we don't get Mecha Godzilla, but we get Mecha King Ghidorah.
Fuck, dude,
like,
that pissed me off. But yeah, I guess that's what I would add. I would change that in the second one. I would change the big old jet to fucking Mecha Godzilla, and the first one I would change it to some other well-known kaiju's instead of the Mutus.
maybe like Anguirus.
And Gearus would be pretty cool. And
'Cause
Gearus and I guess Rodan put him in the first one. I wouldn't want to put him in the second one.
Anguirus is like this like ankylosaurus
Yeah.
monster thing that has a bunch of
Yeah.
spikes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
he's really cool.
Like
you just look over at me and Frederickson and I'm like,
usually they'll fight, but then they end up becoming homies.
Oh.
So
Yeah, and then that could have tied in the second
Yeah.
one. Freaking Anguirus comes out of nowhere.
Because they're both little bitch dinosaurs as well.
Yes.
Anguirus is the bitch dinosaur. Like
I guess thinking about it, I feel like the only closest resemblance to Mewtwo would be, and this is like
say Mewtwo.
I know. I keep thinking he's talking about
the
Pokemon
Mewtwo's.
now.
The
No,
Mutos.
the Mutos or whatever the fuck they're called, would be Destroya.
The
Like,
MUTOs.
wait, tell you,
Destroya would be
YouTube fuck up
Destroya
from
would be really
Godzilla.
cool as like the
True,
main
though.
villain in the first one.
But Destroya
That'd be a good
kills
fight.
Godzilla. Like you can't have the first one being
Fuck,
somebody that
that's
kills Godzilla.
but I really like Destroya. Fuck, it's really hard. I don't know who the heck I would put in the first one, but I would replace the.
You could do. I mean, you could do Destroya. He just doesn't kill Godzilla. But just like in the existing movies, he's the one that put him down.
Yeah. I don't know who I would put for the first one, but I would.
Here we go.
completely-
You could do Destroya.
Y'all heard it first.
And he's the one that starts the meltdown
Very
process for
subtle tone
Godzilla
here.
that goes into the
Yes.
second one,
Ooh,
and then he
have to
melts
be
down,
subtle
and
so
that's
they
when they
don't
have to do
notice.
that whole thing with the bomb where they revitalize him.
Dang, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
There we go. Piece it together.
Oh, man.
Destroya is the first guy, and then Destroya comes back because he's not actually dead.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
I just basically gave my entire pitch for next week's episode. Under the tones. Anywho, okay, cool.
Oh, so by the way, in terms of likelihood of having future movies, I read that after 2021, Toho is considering a strategy that would release a new Godzilla movie every 2 years. Ooh.
Okay, but
Ambitious.
Toho is a Japanese studio that makes all the smaller ones.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that plays into what we're doing.
Well, this is kind of like a Scooby-Doo
Probably
thing.
not quite the same, but yeah,
It'd
that's
still be pretty cool if it's animated or not, dude. I would still watch it, just because Godzilla's so cool.
Well, when Toho does it, it's not animated.
I know
Right.
it's not, but like
Well, the
even
man
if
in a
I'm,
suit.
I'm trying to say if it's
Just
animated
got
or
a
not.
tenth of the budget.
If it's a man in a fucking suit, I'm still watching it.
Like, I see one
I think they
more
moved past that.
Godzilla movie where they build a diorama of a city and have a man walk through it
Heck
in
yeah.
a suit.
Then you're not gonna like my next project. I'm just kidding.
Yay.
Baby Godzilla.
as long as I don't have to wear the suit.
As long as you don't have to wear the suit. Godzilla's down. Godzilla's down. It's what's supposed to happen for 30 pages. Yeah, but it's so hot.
That'd be pretty funny.
All right.
But yeah, that'd be my pitch. I'd remake the fucking Hollywood ones because I didn't like the big old jet and I didn't like the first villains.
I feel like you could fix the jet thing without remaking the whole movie.
Yeah, definitely. You could just make a
I think
Godzilla.
it was just tightening
Right.
up the
yeah,
the sequence. Yeah,
it would have
making
just
it a
been
little bit more
Godzilla.
like people who enjoy the movies would actually like be into.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It was more like a Mecha Rodan. If at that point it was just a big fucking jet followed by a bunch of jets, and they're like chasing Rodan because he comes out of Mexico for some reason.
I don't know. He looked pretty fucking cool
So
though.
he's a bat.
He did. Rodan looked pretty cool.
Right. So mine, just to bounce on, to kind of jump off where we were on that one, I would probably say probably the next one in the series established by the 2014 Godzilla. So after King of Monsters. And I mean, I think my pitch would have to be because, in King of Monsters, we establish that King Ghidorah is, Monster Zero. And he was sent in by aliens to destabilize the Titan food chain, and that's why like all the Titans followed him, and why him and Godzilla were having such conflict as the apex predator. So I think that naturally leads into introducing Gigan as Space Godzilla. So I mean, it's not going to be nothing about that's going to be natural, but at least like the progression, it makes sense because the aliens can come back. They can come and say like, because King Ghidorah did some messed up shit to the Earth, like while he was still kicking, and his head still being alive. Like you could definitely feed in that. I would probably have made Tywin turn out to be one of the aliens that had sent Monster Zero, and that's why he wanted to find the head, and have like him be like the advanced team, and then they bring in Space Godzilla, which is like they did Space Godzilla in the Japanese ones, and he looks really cool. He's got like these dual crystals on his shoulders and stuff. Like he looks really awesome. But he's from space, and so like having like the aliens, like maybe either they got it during King of Monsters or they got it way back when during the initial King Ghidorah like Godzilla fight, but they get his DNA so they can cultivate a Space Godzilla to fight him. And then they bring in Gigan. They always bring in Gigan, like he said, with King Ghidorah. So since we didn't get him in this one, have him be like kind of like the bruiser of the aliens. Which Gigan's really cool. He's got like size for arms. And yeah, he has like a buzzsaw like in his stomach. Like, I mean, it's
Can't forget the buzzsaw
Japanese
belly.
hokiness, but yeah. So I think just seeing a movie like that where they have to fight the aliens, and you have to fight Gigan. You have to, I mean, because Gigan and Space Godzilla were pretty unstoppable forces, and you throw in another Ghidorah in there, like you're gonna have to bring in more monsters on the good side. That's when you can introduce like maybe bring back Mothra. You have, you can bring in Anguirus, really any kind of other monsters, because pretty much Godzilla's made them all his bitch. So, in theory, they should all be on his side. So you could have this big monster brawl because, King Ghidorah's now got his peeps that aren't going to listen to Godzilla because they're aliens and they don't subscribe to the same frequency or whatever they established in King of Monsters. I don't know.
It sounds like Godzilla's Civil War is what you're getting at here, Tyler.
Honestly, I think that there should be a giant, massive brawl. Like,
That would be cool.
I think they did a really good job with King of Monsters to start setting up bigger conflicts with the monsters. But I think we should see just a huge brawl that goes on, and just seeing like, the aliens and obviously there's always an alien, or there's always a human element to every Godzilla story. So seeing them try to take on the aliens, figuring out that there's actually been aliens among them the whole time, kind of like, Marvel, the Skrulls, and, doing something like that where they have to figure out like who exactly. You could throw in Mechagodzilla because it can turn out that maybe the aliens had been commissioning Mechagodzilla behind everybody's backs the whole time. Like, there's so much you could do in a story where you bring in all, like, I think to get to the next stage for Godzilla, you have to bring in the aliens, because that's a crucial part of all of his other movies and the Japanese lore. It's always the aliens are always bringing back. They're either making new monsters or they're making some come up that have been gone for eons. They're always causing some trouble. So I think to do justice to the lore, they should bring in the aliens, and I think that they should bring in some of the best alien monsters as well.
That's fair.
So
does that mean if so they put King Ghidorah here, basically as king, as Subject Zero, whatever he was called. Does that mean really Godzilla's kind of the asshole here for just trying to like take the dude's throne?
no, he had the throne. Ghidorah
Godzilla did?
Yeah. So back in the before time, Godzilla was the one that was at the top of the food chain. He commanded all the monsters, and they sent Ghidorah to destabilize that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I thought Godzilla was like just one of the ones that decided to rise up against him.
No.
Ghidorah is the invasive species.
Yeah. He was the foreign element they introduced to try to destabilize the hierarchy.
Fat dinosaur, 3-headed dragon.
Hey.
Like, I mean, come on.
So
He's
it's
pretty chunky in the new movies.
He's a little thick.
He grew
He
a
has
bit.
a sturdy base.
He has a tiny fucking head. Like,
Heck yeah.
he was like got that massive
He
body.
had a
and
tiny
everything,
head
but,
and no neck.
Tiny little head,
No
no
neck.
neck.
Yeah, but no, I think that's where they need to go next. I don't think we should give up on what we've already established, because I think we have a lot of really good stuff. Mainly just the way that they introduce the monsters. I mean, the human elements have always been something left to be desired, but I think just monster-wise, we've got an amazing Ghidorah. Like, those Ghidorah fights and just everything they did with the cinematography there was amazing.
Heck yeah.
Rodan looked amazing. Like, Mothra was pretty cool. Like, even though you're like, this is just some butterfly bitch, like, she was still like menacing. Like, so I think I'd really like to see them continue that instead of just ending it and probably rebooting in another 15 years like we like to do. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. All right, Derek, if you had time to think.
It's not going to be a very good one, but this one was hard. So being that I'm a fan of the only one that matters, the 98 Godzilla that was in New York, the only one that I think is worth watching. No, I'm kidding. The new ones are pretty good. I ain't going to watch the old ones, but I really actually liked the American one. And so the way it kind of ends is like, they end up killing Godzilla. Godzilla dies, but there is one of those babies that does live.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just one. It might have been multiple. I don't know. But then you good over there?
It was just one.
It was just one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was, because I know that kind of leads into the TV show. They did an animated TV show of Godzilla, and I remember I loved it as a kid. But that kind of does a little more. That one's kind of geared more towards what Godzilla is. Like, he's a good one, and he does have like the. I don't want to say it was fire. It's almost like an energy, like radiation.
Atomic breath. Yeah.
Yeah. And he does fight evil monsters that show up, and like alien monsters and stuff in that. And so, I mean, they could just literally pick up where they left off in that one, like because that little baby one grows up and becomes almost like kind of like a superhero for them. Like it becomes like what this Godzilla is supposed to be, which I know that was probably one of the big reasons people didn't like this Godzilla movie was that it's like it wasn't really a Godzilla movie. It was more of just like a monster movie where like, you know, this giant, like, I mean, I liked it, but I can understand why people like as a Godzilla movie, people were let down by it. And so to take like a sequel to it and have that baby one grow up to be the Godzilla that we know, obviously it'd look a little different. But and just do more of like a live action story off of that, kind of where the TV show, the little kids cartoon went. You know, it might redeem it a little bit in people's eyes, but
I feel like the reason why people didn't like that Godzilla as much is because it was kind of like in the same way that the 2014 ones are, where they kind of point to like the human aspect of it, where it's from the human's perspective. That one was just entirely like the people's perspective.
I mean, yeah, it was people versus monster like the whole time.
And then Godzilla looked like a dinosaur. It's like, what is this? What am I looking at?
What do you think this is? This
no,
is
but
what a dinosaur looks
Godzilla
like.
in the original one, he was
looks like a
hunched
lizard.
over.
I was like, this is a dinosaur. This is a
That one, he
T-Rex
looks
almost
cool.
with a little head.
Like he was like lean and
like he was like,
really
like
lean.
that
like-
scene when he climbs up the skyscraper. I thought that was really cool.
like it looks like they took just like his design and just like slapped it into
Slapped it
the
on a T-Rex.
Spinosaurus from
Oh yeah.
like
Little
'cause
bit,
he's
yeah.
got the long arms, so that's really what
yeah.
like distinguishes him from a T-Rex because he has like the longer arms.
He's got the long arms that can
The
pull
proportionate
himself around.
arms.
Like
I would have liked to see him in a video game though. I thought it was really weird that they didn't put him in the Wii version of or the PlayStation version of Godzilla Unleashed, I think it was called. That would have been really cool if they put him in that video game. And
I
it's
don't think
just-
they had the rights.
they didn't have the rights.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
I would assume that too.
Yeah.
Because when they put him in the Japanese one, like they couldn't even call him Godzilla; they call him Zilla.
Dang.
This was
they're
pretty
gonna get
godhood.
sued for having him get his ass beat so fast, but that ain't right.
Couldn't even give him that.
They also gave him a movie he's never shown in the show or like in the movie.
Yeah, it's like his foot shown, his mouth shown. It's like a Cloverfield, but older. But Cloverfield
Also
got
not found footage.
also not found footage. Cloverfield
Yeah,
got
like
that
this,
right.
you very much see Godzilla throughout it causing havoc.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And I like how I like the scene in the movie where they like lure him with a bunch of fish, and like comes up to the fish, he starts eating it. I like that scene. I don't know why. I just like seeing all the fish getting eaten.
Sounds like a different segment of the show right now. Okay,
It's not gonna be his favorite movie, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's not my
it's gonna be
favorite.
mine. Okay,
That's not my favorite movie. That's just my one favorite scene.
You're stealing
from that
Derek's
movie.
thunder.
Just to kind of redeem it.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Would you introduce like any of the monsters that you've seen so far?
Yeah. So like, if I remember right, the cartoon, like I don't remember if it had all of those, but it even had like some original ones. I think they made up for the cartoon. So that could just play into like more that maybe they have in the back that like wasn't official lore, but maybe like they can bring it into the lore. I don't know. But no, yeah, I'd definitely be down to like, you know, like I mean, not to steal these movies' thunder. Like if you want to bring Ghidorah into it, or any of those monsters, I mean, then it would just kind of become what this one was, but with a cooler looking Godzilla. But yeah, no, I'm open to that. Like whatever challenges he comes across, or they put him against. But
Yeah, let's see which monsters he had.
I know. I was just looking that up too.
Series monsters.
like, I don't really remember.
Let's see. Category Godzilla, series kaijus.
Cyber Godzilla is a reference to Mechagodzilla. Wow.
Wow.
Who wouldn't have guessed?
Who'da
Actually,
thunk
that's
it?
a fair question though, because you never know these days.
Jesus, this guy
There
has
could be a
lot.
mecha, a cyber, a robo,
Yeah.
like, and they all be totally separate things.
What if there was like
That's fair.
like a cyborg one that like it's like nanites and it like melts through things? It's just like
Right.
what? How do we stop?
It's almost
this?
like like
You
a
don't.
metal slime that just kind of like goes through shit.
Jesus, this guy has a lot. He gets from A to G. In monsters. He fights the Loch Ness monster? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Why would he fight Nessie?
Why not?
'Cause Nessie's a dick.
You know how things are with your ex.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know, but
You know, when
I could see it.
Godzilla was back to being a little marine iguana, you know, Nessie picked on him a little bit. So
That
now
was-
he's
that
now
was-
he's big and bad.
That was also part of the movie is that
It's
he was
like, how
actually a
dare
marine
you.
iguana.
Yeah, like it was just nuclear testing that ended up
Uh-huh.
giving him his. That's why he was the only one like in that part.
Dang. These monsters actually don't look that bad.
I also
That'd
liked
be
how the
cool.
French came to take him down. All right. Anything else?
No.
No?
So if the French came to take him down, does he have some kind of an aversion to white flags, or
didn't say he was
Wow.
French. Okay, so
Zing.
all right, so I found a list of the monsters, and we got Baby Godzilla, first Godzilla from a flashback, Crustaceous Rex,
Yeah.
Just a Rex.
Cryptocledius,
I don't remember any of these.
But wait, what?
Can you say that one more time?
Cryptocledius.
Crypto clitoris.
That's what I kind of thought he said.
No, it's a plesiosaur kaiju.
Sounds
Okay.
kind of cool though.
Nessie, giant bat. Wonder what that is. King Cobra, Robo Yeti,
Yeah.
Robo
giant
Yeti.
mutant termite, giant mutant widow spider,
So I'll admit the names aren't great.
techno sentient, giant water beetle, rhinoceros.
They may not be great, but they're pretty descriptive. I'm
know
kind of
what
getting
you-
a picture.
You know what you're getting, yeah. Giant turtle,
What
Sub-Zero
is that?
manta, megapede, thorny devil, giant armadillo, silver hydra,
Silver Hydra sounds cool.
fire monster,
Yes.
deep dweller.
But that's like an octopus or something.
Probably. I don't know. There was more than that, but those were the ones that really stuck out. Komodithrax.
Oh yeah, Komodo. It's just a giant Komodo dragon.
I almost feel
Let's
like
see what Deep
they're stronger
Dweller
than
is.
a giant marine
Deep
eagle.
Dweller is a giant fish kaiju.
So a shark.
So I'm guessing they owned no rights for any of the monsters.
It looks like they did.
Changing idea.
But
Godzilla
these are
versus
really,
the
these
Meg.
are really cool. You
I
fought
don't
a
know,
giant
dude.
armadillo.
I like the idea of Crustaceous Rex. Just
Like
the
how
name.
y'all are hopping more on this than I.
No, yeah, because I didn't know they didn't have any of the original ones. They have. Or
I kind of figured.
They have all like their own. No, but that's really cool.
All right.
I like these.
Now you learned a lot about a TV show
Well,
you'll probably
it
never
is,
watch.
I believe still on Netflix. It was on Netflix.
Probably.
Probably still is on Netflix. Well, now you know that Godzilla, in canon,
Has
the
a
American
kid-
version, has
children's
fought
TV show.
the Loch Ness monster.
True.
There you
I don't know how
go.
I feel about that.
Apparently
Really?
you have strong feelings.
I
about
know.
how that's messed up.
I mean, yeah. I just don't know what Nessie did to deserve that.
You know what she did.
Existed.
She did exist. That's fair.
But can you prove it?
Define prove.
Show
I can find people who will believe me.
show tangible evidence. I mean, yeah, I believe too, but
You'll find the one
All right, there we go.
Scotsman who's like hopped up on opioids that thinks that he's seen Nessie.
That reminds me of the Futurama episode where they were like, "We caught the Loch Ness monster," and it was a log with a Halloween mask stapled to it. And they're like, "We don't care. It puts ass in seats."
it's fair.
Yeah, I could see it.
Right.
All right.
That was some pretty good movie pitches.
All right. So next up, we have our favorite movie. Jeffrey, do you want to kick off your favorite movie?
Sure, why not?
That builds confidence.
Yeah. So it's kind of a difficult choice for me. Really enjoyed the one where he appeared as a wagon that was made like a high-tech car and could do things like talk and turn into a boat.
Yeah, I think it's Herbie Fully Loaded.
No. Turned into a boat when he was in water. He had fire breath. And then the protagonist took it on a journey to the hopsicle and tried to return the main character's newborn brother.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying?
Is this one of the old Japanese ones?
No.
What's the name of this glorious
Then they ended
movie?
up getting lost in the forest, and the wagon was voiced by Levi Curl and the rapper Busta Rhymes.
Are we
What's
talking
the
about the
song
Goonies
Godzilla?
here?
Huh?
What's the
Talking
name
about
of
a song, Godzilla?
What's
No.
the name of
Oh.
What's the name of this movie?
Isn't
Like,
there like a
Eminem
Godzilla?
does
I want to see how
song.
long it takes you guys to figure this out.
Keep going, because I'm not.
So there's also the one where he had a more important role as a giant robot, and then the robot's head fell off twice. But Stu fixed it the first time for the play.
Rugrats.
Oh my
Reptar.
god, it was Rugrats.
It was
Reptar,
Reptar.
you motherfucker.
Okay. All right.
I was like,
he is Godzilla. I mean, this is true.
He's not Godzilla,
yes.
quote
Are you
unquote.
trying to get Nickelodeon sued?
You know, they've ruined
Honestly,
all.
if they haven't
they've
been
taken
sued
away
for it
almost
by
every
now.
show I liked. So yes.
If they haven't been sued for it by now,
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, if Cat Scratch wasn't Ed, Ed, and Eddie, but rich, I mean,
true.
Cats.
You're not wrong. But yeah, so the only one that I remember seeing, at least all of it, is King of the Monsters, which I enjoyed. It was a good movie. I've seen bits and pieces of like 3 or 4, maybe 5 other Godzilla movies, but it's always been like
But
I walk
Jeffrey,
in.
there's only 3.
But Jayfred, there's
No.
only 3.
No, There's not. There are
Oh, he's got the facts.
36
Yeah, there's
Godzilla
30
movies.
there's 36.
What's
Makes
the
sense.
total runtime of all of those, Jafer?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't look that up.
I was like, I thought maybe you had it there. Oh.
No. Yeah.
Tyler's on it.
Tyler's on the case.
Ah, they just show me individual ones. Dude, King Kong versus Godzilla was an hour and 18 minutes.
My goodness. What an epic.
Now we got to
Do I
see
need
if
to
this
make a
universe has
spreadsheet?
more
You know,
runtime
actually-
than the MCU.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, actually, Godzilla was
Probably not, actually, because a lot of them are just an hour and a half.
the original Godzilla, the one that came out in Japan, was actually a response to the success of King Kong. Big fucking surprise there. But it was I was watching like the history of it, and they actually made Godzilla to show the horrors and damage of nuclear war.
Yeah.
You know, with like
The
his
first
atomic
one?
breath. The very first one, he came out to show the horrors of like nuclear war.
I guess because he has like a nuclear breath or
Yeah,
something.
basically.
Well, he was created by using
created by
nuclear
radiation.
testing.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, and the Japanese ones it was too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought you said that was aliens.
They kind of. What did they do to it?
Hmm?
I thought you said
Aliens.
that was-
No, Aliens is King Ghidorah and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gigan.
Oh,
and
okay.
Space
Never mind,
Godzilla.
never mind. So that's
Yeah.
only some of them were the aliens, not all of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, no.
Oh,
The rest were just, they've been around since, the prehistoric times.
so Ghidorah was the only alien one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Since
Yeah.
the
okay.
before 4.
Yeah. But in the regular canon, and the one in the 98, it's nuclear testing.
Yeah, I know it
Yeah.
was in the 98 when it was. He got turned into that.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
that's
that was pretty
actually
cool.
in line with the original.
Oh,
Fun-
okay.
So yeah.
Fun
so
fact: the oxygen bomb, or what's it called? Is it the oxygen destroyer?
Oxygen destroying bomb, something like that.
The oxygen destroyer was what they killed the very first Godzilla in the first movie with.
hmm
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the other Godzillas you see are not the same Godzilla.
So that was kind of
So
like
it's like a
cool,
multiverse type thing now?
No.
Okay.
Same canon, same runtime, same universe.
Well,
So
so there
it's-
are
There's different
eras.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
there's
okay.
different Godzillas.
Like the
So just
what I found,
reborn
there
every
were
time?
4
Yeah,
different
basically, he's
eras
just born
within the Toho movies. So the first one was the Showa era from 1954 to 75. There were 15 movies there, and then the Heisei era, I guess, Heisei,
Yeah.
from 84 to 95, and that one, basically the only one that they took into account was the very first one, 1954. They pretended like all the rest of them didn't ever happen, and just kind of rewrote stuff.
X-Men.
Uh,
Got it.
Basically, yes.
X-Men did.
And one of the things I read about that was that era was when they started bringing in a bigger focus on the moral aspects of genetics than the
My
previous movies did,
Yeah.
which is why I was kind of wondering about what you guys were saying about the first one. But
Yeah. So, because since the first one was in 1954, they were still pretty much, they're still reeling from the devastation that was brought on them by atomic
Mhm.
power. So
That's fair.
yeah,
a big part
with
of
good
the,
reason.
So they were it's kind of like one of those things where you channel your trauma into art.
Yeah,
And so that's why its origin is atomic testing, because they wanted to show the horrors, kind of remind people, kind of show people, this is kind of what you did to us, kind of thing.
Also, a couple of the
Well, that's
monsters
dark.
Yeah.
of the monsters are like the same thing as Godzilla. They were made to show like the horrors of something. So there's a kaiju that's like just a big sludge monster, and it's to show the horrors of smog and pollution.
Huh.
It's pretty
I
cool.
can see that.
They try to get woke sometimes.
Yeah, they try to
Yeah,
get
like
woke.
a little dark.
How does it make you feel
But-
that your favorite freaking series is just big propaganda for naturalists?
I mean,
among
it's
other things.
it's about a giant monster to destroy a city.
Yeah,
It
so it
doesn't
doesn't
really,
really- I
doesn't
think-
really,
I
feel-
think-
I think out of propagandas, that's the coolest propaganda.
nothing about that tells me you know what, cities are rad. No, it's maybe bad. The humans are bad.
Yeah.
I'm a recycle if it means that it won't wake up a giant sludge monster.
On a lighter note, Godzilla was made an honorary resident of Japan, officially.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Does he pay taxes?
You
No.
better.
Is he pulling income?
I don't know.
I don't know how taxes work in Japan, so I'm not going to.
That's a
Like-
good point,
Like
actually.
Yeah.
most famous people, he doesn't pay taxes.
Who's making it political this time?
I had to.
Wait, so you said that the original was in response to King Kong, but that was
Mhm.
21 years later, isn't that?
It was in
Yeah.
response to King Kong. It was like, oh,
That's a
these
really
giant
long
these giant
response.
monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
guess.
21 years.
I guess they were like these giant monster movies.
Through the World War right there.
I mean, they weren't. they couldn't really be making movies at that time, right? Because they were going through World War II and like they were running out of
I
money.
don't know. Some
'cause
people
they
were making steak sauce during that time. Some people can make movies.
Shit.
Makes a point.
I don't know. I feel like because like that's a lot of metal to make the freaking like suit and like inside like the innards that like it moves. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure that was all like foam and stuff.
Was it all
Yeah, I
foam?
would say it's all probably like cardboard.
foam?
foam,
You don't move
plastic
that
and
way
stuff, like-
without it being like
I'm
not
pretty
anything
sure. I'm pretty sure the
rigid.
majority of it was foam. Here, let me see.
You know how I know
Or
you're from
latex.
Gen Z?
Yeah, you guys keep talking. I'll figure
Okay.
it out.
Seriously though, I mean, you think they had that technology that they could do
Make
that?
a
I mean,
buzzsaw
that's-
come out of someone's
That's
stomach.
what I'm trying to
Like,
figure. No, because Geigen originally didn't have. I don't think his saw moved.
I don't think he did in the 70s version of Geigen.
No, I don't think he did in the.
And they brought him back for the next era. He did though.
He did.
He was a lot cooler in that one. He was all blue and red. In the 70s one, he was like this like pea green.
yeah.
Got a new paint job. He's ready.
No, well, he had the buzzsaw on him, but maybe he didn't use it. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I saw the
Here it is.
one with the Geigen.
I found it. Though other reports describe it was special. It was special plastic since commodities like rubber were short in supply after World War II. Resort. It was just basically ready mix concrete and like latex that was readily available from after World War II.
Concrete
Yeah, that's what it says. Created
For
from
the
ready
feet,
mix
I guess?
concrete.
What?
for like the feet, I guess.
I think so because it says
Either that or maybe it wasn't mixed and set. Maybe it was just
maybe
loose, like dry, quickcrete or whatever.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Almost like
at
a
that point, it'd be
drywall.
like
Just to
sand.
add some. Okay, I guess I see that. I don't know.
Just a guess.
Maybe that's why I had the
Knowing
potbelly.
nothing about it.
maybe that's what it looks like.
We need to go back in time and find this out.
Maybe
But
you
yeah,
could find
World
someone
War
who was
II
alive back then. Who knows?
You know that was almost 70 years ago now.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
only one that we know.
But yeah, World War II played a big factor on why
Back
it
in
took so
my
long.
day.
World War II did play a big factor on why it took so long to respond to King Kong. Because
Okay.
they didn't have anything. So
4 years. Okay, maybe.
yeah, around that
Well,
time.
World War II was longer than 4 years. We were in it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it was 4 years.
To the winners.
To the winners, it's 4.
I'm not a history guy by any means. I don't pretend to be. So
All right. For a second there, I kind of forgot that we were talking about Jay Fred's favorite movie.
I know. Like, I was about to ask, how did we get on this tangent?
Because I had made I was like, but there's only 3
Reptar.
movies. That's why.
Yes, that's true. So yeah,
Then
that
you fact bombed us.
pretty much said all I have to say about it. Like, I've seen the one movie that I saw just earlier this week or last week. I don't
This
remember.
morning.
Recently, within the last week.
Currently watching.
Currently
It's paused at home right now.
I don't know how it ends, guys. Don't tell me.
We'll spoil the end.
I can't figure it out. I don't know how it's gonna end.
Ghidorah wins.
Yes.
So
Actually,
you said
Mothra kills Godzilla in the end. Godzilla's hanging off a cliff, and Mothra's like, "Long live the king," and then just like stabs him. And he falls.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Turns out Mothra's not a moth. It's like this giant leech with wings. It just kind of hops from
Oh my
monster to
God,
monster,
that is
devouring
terrifying.
them all.
Giant leech with wings. Well, I'm not sleeping tonight.
so you said your favorite movie was the 2014 ones, which
No, he was saying
said this
King of
one
Monsters, right?
specifically.
The King of Monsters
The King of
one,
Monsters
okay.
is the one that I've seen all
Okay.
of, or at least the one that I remember. I mean,
what did you
check
like
out
I
about
think
that?
I've seen bits and
1998
pieces
maybe.
of several other Godzilla movies.
pretty good.
Should not have Googled that.
Googled what?
Giant leech with wings.
They show you some very real things out there.
It not so
I
much
don't
the
wanna know.
wings, but the leeches that are the size of people's arms.
Ooh, yucky. So what did you like about that movie?
I thought you were about to say the leech. I was like, probably nothing about
I think
that.
it was a pretty interesting concept overall. I mean, Godzilla having somebody try and almost succeed to dethrone him as the king of the monsters, and having humans help him at the end kind of distract the other monsters so that he can get the upper hand and win.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that he would have found a way to win without the distraction, but maybe not.
Maybe
It was-
not. I feel like
He was in a pretty bad way.
It would have been harder, you know.
he was in
Yeah.
a bit of a
Yeah.
pickle.
I
Would've
still
been
don't
more
think he should've
impressive.
won, so
Pardon?
just
You
didn't
don't
see
think he should have in what way? Like, you think it just you think the other monster was just better, or
Shouldn't have or should
I
have.
feel like
one?
Ghidorah would have killed him.
Okay,
He's only got 2 arms. And there's 3 heads.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
And-
Honestly, sometimes they,
And those 3 heads each shoot lightning.
And when
got 1 mouth
Ghidorah
versus
got
3.
Distracted, I think he had 2 of his mouths like gnawing on Godzilla, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So
like, there were points
I
where he was
would-
like biting all into
Yeah.
him. They were up in the air at one point, weren't they?
I think so.
he
I-
he usually uses like his other extra heads as like arms sometimes. So like fucking grab.
can you imagine Ghidorah with arms? If the aliens had just engineered him slightly different, he would have been absolutely the winner. Like,
Hands down. If he had some arms, even T-Rex arms would have helped. I mean,
something.
But yeah, I can see why you would like the second one. The second one definitely like cinematic wise and cinematography and like visuals. That one's just beautiful.
Also, being that I have very little to compare it to.
Yeah, that may be too as well. That may
like,
play a
that might
factor.
play a
I mean, it was a whole lot more exciting than Reptar. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But did it make you want to buy cereal?
No.
And or a
That-
Reptar.
in that area, Reptar is the king.
I love freaking movie like kids movie. What's it called? Like food after the movie comes out. Because I remember whenever Shrek came out and they had some freaking like ice pops. I would like eat the shit out of those, and my tongue was like green for like months at a time.
Your tongue is green for months. I don't think that's
Yeah.
from
It was
the-
not healthy, dude. I think they recalled those motherfuckers.
Now we know like the way you are.
Heck yeah, dude. Now you know where my freaking Taki fetish comes from. Of just devouring bag after bag of Takis.
I don't know if there's
That's
a
from
correlation, but
beating
yeah,
a
I was
case
like,
of
I don't know if
gangrene.
has anything
Is
to do-
that?
Did that come from a cartoon or?
Nah. That's just because I have an addictive
he was
personality.
thinking about his obsessions, and he's like, "This is food."
He's going down a rabbit hole of everything he's
100%.
addicted
Oh,
to.
100%.
I think he's
stemmed
saying
from-
that he had gangrene on his tongue and he overcame it, and that's now why he has these weird tastes.
Heck yeah. And 100%, like, my addiction stems from the
There's a Hallmark movie
Shrek,
about him.
the Shrek popsicles.
Well, okay then.
Wow.
Sure.
All right. So who wants to talk about their favorite movie next?
Derek, your favorite movie?
So my favorite movie is the best Godzilla there is, obviously.
The only Godzilla there is.
The American Godzilla. No. Okay. I mean,
America.
it was the American one, but no, I like that one. Because I don't know. To me, it gave like I'm not gonna say a realistic approach to like how he's a thing. Because realistically, even if you drop a nuclear bomb like that, it's not gonna turn an iguana into this thing.
I think the newest ones give you the most realistic. That they were just
Aliens
there
and-
always, like.
Like yeah, like there's aliens out there. There's some monsters that were on this earth that we've never seen. I mean, I guess that one, yeah, probably.
In the depths of the ocean.
Yeah, that's fair.
There are still parts of the ocean that I'm pretty sure we haven't explored yet.
So I think didn't it say that we've still explored more parts of the moon than we have the ocean.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably.
Well, I mean, there isn't gallons and gallons.
Well,
millions
okay.
of
Are
gallons
we
of
talking
water
about
on top
by
of the moon.
percentage or by area?
Yeah, bro, the moon doesn't
'Cause
have gallons.
I think
Okay.
percentage.
And
Okay.
or tons of water.
I could probably agree with that
Yeah,
without having actually looked it up.
I think percentage-wise it was.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting attacked about this. Like, it was just
I
like,
wasn't
your
attacking.
math is
It
wrong,
wasn't-
Tyler.
I
wasn't
went
so
to
much you, it
agree,
was
and then I
him,
was like,
like-
well, and then I asked the question.
it wasn't so much you. It was him.
Oh,
Percentage wise, yeah,
I
okay.
sat here quietly. I was like, I'm not setting
Figure-
foot in this one.
Figure out your math, Tyler.
My
mean,
math.
Juan
Never
tries to
offered
attack
any
other people
numbers.
at every opportunity he gets because he knows he opens himself up to so many attacks. He's like, dang it, I got to get a pot shot in here somewhere.
Remember that one time that I blew Shrek and my tongue was green for months?
Hell yeah. Dude, I don't know about you guys, but that was the best. I feel like the only thing that I can compare it to is the
Oh my god.
the high C Ghostbusters drink. That was I forgot the Slimer drink.
First of all, you weren't even
Heck
alive when
I wasn't
Ghostbusters was
alive, but
out.
that's the only thing that I can compare it to.
Second of all, we were talking about you blowing a fictional creature, and
Hell
you said
yeah.
that was the best,
Hell
other
yeah.
than a high C flavor.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why I'm getting attacked about this.
Because you said you wanted to blow Shrek.
Never said that.
That's
Well,
why
you
you're
said
getting
you
attacked.
did, and you said it was the best. So
I have no comment.
yeah, that's what
These
I
are
thought.
his swamps. All right. All right. Anywho.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Right, so what were you saying about your favorite movie?
Tell us more about Zilla.
Well, Godzilla, the real Godzilla here. God, I'm not even gonna lie. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, so it's gonna be hard to talk about.
Tatopolis.
But yeah, no, I mean, I liked it. They kept him very still reptilian, like he was kind of like a lizard just crawling around, like the way he would crawl on buildings. And I mean, I always thought it was kind of funny how numerous times they even point out their own flaws. They're like, this thing is huge. How do we keep fucking losing this thing in our city?
That's a good point.
And like it did, like it kept sneaking around, like even though this thing was hundreds of feet tall, climbed the Empire State Building. You know, at one point it breathed fire, or at least breathed some like noxious gas into some fire that caused that effect. I mean, I thought the babies were cool. The baby Godzillas were kind of cool.
Heck yeah, do the Velociraptor type.
I might go watch
Basically.
this. I might go watch this movie later.
I was like, I mean, like they're babies, but I mean they're still like 6 foot tall. So I mean they're still a pretty big threat to us. And then just watching the military try to take down this dinosaur that just kept outsmarting them. Like the scene where like I don't remember if they shot a missile or a tank or something, but he just like dives under the water and completely like dodges their attack, and they're just like, well fuck.
It also faked its own death.
Yeah, it did.
Like he was very smart, and I don't know. I just like most of it comes from I just like the way he looks a lot better than the Japanese one. I've always thought the Japanese one like again was a little too stocky. Like I'm not saying
heresy,
there, but like he just
It's allowed to have an opinion.
he doesn't look as menacing. Like I get that he's still big and strong, especially because you know with that whole like light up the spikes and shoot lasers out of your mouth. But I don't know. To me, he just didn't seem as menacing because he kind of looks like a big.
Because you feel like you could outrun him, even though you couldn't.
I mean,
you're like,
yeah, and like he almost had like that big teddy bear kind of look. Like he's just kind of like
big
jolly
stocky
looking,
boy.
versus you know the other one was kind of like looked like fucking Satan. Like he looked like a monster.
He did. He looked like a very
Like it made it look
Even
like it
his
really
spikes
was
were more
a
spiky.
live ass
Yeah.
dinosaur
What the heck?
chasing you through the streets. Like,
Yeah, even his spikes were more spiky.
mm-hmm.
Spiky spikes.
And so I mean, ultimately that I just really like the way that movie was done. I mean,
what about?
especially because as a little kid, it came out like right when I was like 4 years old. And I was a really big dinosaur kid when I was a little kid. And so, I mean, I had like everything Godzilla.
Heck yeah.
All right.
It's like, yeah. And the cartoon was a good follow-up as well.
I completely forget that cartoon ties
feel like
They
into
used to have
the
a,
movie.
a Godzilla, like of the cartoon, laser tag place over near my parents' house when I was little.
What?
And I remember I had a birthday there once. It was fucking awesome. Like, and you can go in there and not only shoot each other, but like they're like little monsters that would light up all over the walls that you could shoot too, like his villains. But if you shot Godzilla, you got bad points, obviously.
See,
That's fair.
And he would roar at you.
that's like
Ooh.
that's like a cool freaking laser tag theme. I hate the freaking themes. from
Yeah, I
laser
could never
tags.
tell you. Like, I just remember the picture of what it looks like. Don't know where it was, what the name of it was
Exactly.
called. All I know is that
You
I'm
don't know if it's some kind of
99%
fever dream,
sure
like-
it exists. Only 99%.
Yeah.
But if I were to ask my parents, I'd be like, hey, do y'all remember that?
I remember the Godzilla.
They'd probably
laser
say I was
tag.
fucking like high or something, but no. I
Dear.
hope not, Mom. I was 4, so
What were you giving
If
me?
I was, that was your fault.
right, like
Your mother was actually just slipping.
your
What about
CPS. My parents were nice, loving parents. Okay, don't take me away.
She was just slipping opioids into your fucking
Okay, so it
Lunchables.
says it was at the Discovery Zone.
Oh, I was
That
about
does
to.
sound familiar.
I was about to ask if it was like the Men in Black laser tag at
Kinda.
Discovery Zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
So-
played that one too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's
that
what
makes
it was
sense.
called. I
It
remember the
probably was
Discovery
very
Zone.
similar.
And I remember the floor tiles. I remember the whole place. Like it was. I know it has to be a place because I cannot be that detailed in my dreams.
Well, Discovery Zone used to be a place.
Well, fair. I guess it does.
Apparently, there was a commercial that just popped up, and I typed in Godzilla. Actually, I did Go Dill, so I don't know how to figure that out.
deal.
But
Well,
it's like
it's been
Godzilla
listening to
series,
you having
98
this
to
conversation.
2000 DZ/Discovery Zone.
Yeah, there it
Does
is.
it still exist?
DZ Discovery Zone,
Is that
where
still
I
a
can
place?
cut loose and be on my own.
Was that their thing?
Yeah, that was part of their like theme song or whatever in their commercials.
Is that still a place?
That place gives me so many memories. I'm going to look that up.
Is that still a place?
No.
Is it
No.
still open?
No.
Hasn't been
Fuck.
for.
Oh, if it was a place, we'd be going this
15
weekend, dude.
Yeah, we be going play some freaking Godzilla laser
I'm like,
tag.
shit, I'm calling into work tomorrow.
I have a friend who was telling me he wanted to open up a adult Discovery Zone where like just grown people can run through like the obstacle courses and stuff. And I was like, do you understand the liability that you're going to have having 40-year-old people who are like, oh, I used to do this as a kid, running through and like going
Get
over
fuck-
the little rolly pins and
Get a fucking
Like-
hernia in the process.
yeah, they like break their leg in the middle of the tube they're trying to crawl
Oh,
through
geez.
You
and
just sign
get
a
stuck
waiver like at
there.
Urban Air. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but then you still have to pay to like have somebody take the tube apart so you can get them out and
I
like
mean,
it's,
I'm not saying there won't be problems, but
So yeah, I was more of a Peter Piper pizza kid.
of course.
Yeah,
you
we were a
do.
schmuck.
Explain that. All three of us just look at you like, okay.
I was also in a different part of the country than the rest of you. Okay,
That's true. That's very
I've
true.
actually never been to Peter Piper Pizza, so I don't know.
I've
It's-
heard of Peter Piper.
It's like
Pizza.
Chuck E. Cheese's, but with more games.
Okay.
Unless creeps.
And you,
There was a lot. There was a lot more
Also,
there was
like
a lot more
Mr.
places.
So
Gaddy's.
rats.
What?
There was like a lot more like. It was more climbable. Like there was like all like the different like jump like. all
Yeah,
the,
there-
like,
Yeah,
gymnasium
DZ
and
was
stuff.
like
No,
almost
it's not like
exclusively climbable stuff.
dumb as
It
like
was-
it's not like Chuck E. Cheese
Chuck E.
where
Cheese
like
is freaking dumb.
if you're like
Got a
taller
ball
than
pit?
3 foot you couldn't have made it. Like this one was like it was a huge like apparatus they had set up that was just
The only freaking
Have
thing
you
that I
seen
liked
any
about the Chuck E.
videos
Cheese.
of Discovery Zone? You should look
Celebration
that up.
Station should be in this conversation.
The only-
just so you guys
If
know.
we're moving on to places like this, Celebration Station was pretty
Just so you
good.
guys know, they did just open a Discovery Zone in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Pardon
What?
me?
Go to Ohio.
Me?
What kind of what they got? What kind of themes? They
I don't
got
know.
right
It just it's just like this article about them coming back. Oh my God, you would not
Just a
fit into
second.
this. There's a video you should check out later.
now?
Oh, they have a
definitely
Facebook
gonna
page.
I'm gonna have to.
Shit. What was I saying? The only thing that I liked about the Chuck E. Cheese near my house was they had a firefighter game. That was the best freaking thing ever. Dude, that made me want to be a firefighter, but I'm like, I don't want to get burnt.
Everyone, maybe they just put some games out of commission. Everyone knows at any of these arcade places, the best one was always the Jurassic Park one, where you shoot the dinosaurs.
They didn't have the Jurassic Park one.
I didn't really get to try that one until I was like teenager.
Exactly.
Really?
I didn't get
Aw,
to
that
try that
one
one
was
until
the
I went to
best
main event.
one.
I didn't get to try that one
You're like
until we
in
went
the
to main
Jeep and
event.
The T-Rex is
Yeah,
chasing
that's so much
you,
fun.
and-
I do that one now. It still kicks my ass.
I was like, that was a classic.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody could win that fucking game. That game is so impossible.
Like I go to an arcade where you don't have to put in tokens, and even then I'm just like,
Even then, you're like,
Stop.
God dang it.
go.
Be here all fucking night because this damn dinosaur.
Nah, dude. I don't know what you're talking
They
about.
had and it's like I played it like a couple months ago, and they had like the Carnotaurus, and like you're like it just like goes invisible, and I was like, dude, if this was in '97, and I just saw that, this would like scare the shit out of me.
Where the
Like,
fuck did this Carnosaurus just go? Right, so what are we talking about? We were talking about favorite movies.
I don't know.
just finished mine, so I think you two. Are
That was quite a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I will say I really enjoyed the '98 one. I know a lot of people give it flack, but I enjoy it. Yeah, it's more a monster movie than Godzilla movie, but I mean, he's got Matthew Broderick, and he's just awesome and everything. So
So the one in Ohio opened on February
Yeah, I know.
7th.
And then they posted on March 16th on his Facebook that they were closing for COVID,
Yes.
and that was the last post. So
Yeah.
Shit, dude, they're closing forever.
Start a
was
brand
I
new
mean,
business
they've been
in
closed
2
since
weeks.
96
It was
or
not meant to be.
99, I think.
So
Not
apparently in
meant to be.
'96 they did Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and their last location closed in 2001 till
Okay.
February. Till I don't know. This one article just had everything about it. Apparently,
That
At least we know there's a demand.
I was so
okay?
excited for like a minute.
dude, it could be coming back.
I'm upset now.
That government money's got to be going somewhere, right?
Don't get your
Honestly,
hopes
yeah,
up,
that,
pal.
that money gotta be going.
Don't let them hurt you again. Just keep your hopes down.
I'm gonna invite you to the Facebook page.
I see the Facebook page. I'm looking at it right
He's
now.
like,
Yeah.
I've already clicked like and follow.
I just want it as a reminder that it's a thing.
Just looking
That
J
you may, a thing you may not be able to go to.
Fucking J for
I
pouring
don't
one
know
out
if
for
I want
Discovery.
alcohol or ice cream or both.
Good night, sweet prince. It's like we're opening up back up for business. COVID, it was not meant to be. I'm sorry for your broken dreams.
2020 can go eat a bag of dicks.
Honestly,
And it's only July.
I know.
oh well.
All right. Anyway,
What's your favorite movie, Tyler?
I don't have one now.
Well, I'll go next then.
I'm kidding. I have one. So mine is actually not any of the American ones. Not that the American ones aren't good. I really enjoyed those two, but I really enjoyed Godzilla Final Wars, and it's came out in 2004. So it was the 50th anniversary of the franchise. That was the last movie that Toho made, and they said they were going to stop for 10 years, which they did. They didn't come out with another one until Shin Godzilla. And I just love it because it has every monster in it.
Don't do it.
What?
Don't bring it up.
I'm gonna
Tyler.
bring it up. Like
Don't
it's
bring
gonna
it up.
happen. Like it's and so it's a movie where like it's part of their Millennium period, I guess, which is when they started. I think it was like Godzilla 2000 was the one that kicked it off, even though it came out like '98 because that was back when they did everything was 2000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's gonna be the glorious time. But
We're going to have flying cars in the year 2000.
God, can't wait till that year
I
happens.
mean, some of them flew off some cliffs. I mean,
That's fair.
yeah.
In a way. But so pretty much like Godzilla got trapped in ice after the 1954 events, so the original, and he was, as the years went by, more monsters popped up because of environmental disasters and whatnot. For some reason, the humans started, there's superhumans started emerging as like mutants, and they had like special abilities. Usually they're more durable and they're better shots and stuff like that. Nothing too like crazy. Just pretty much that they could take on the monsters themselves.
So like the pre-X-Men?
Kind of. Okay. Well, this was a 2004 movie, so.
Well,
So from
Yeah.
like what this one sounds like, he was talking about, I guess some of the older ones were like to show the fear of what he said, like nuclear warfare.
No,
Would
like
this be like the
pollution and
fear
stuff.
of like global warming or climate change?
Climate change,
like he
yeah.
just melts. They all just start melting out of the ice. I guess like this is why we should save the planet so giant monsters don't run amok.
So Godzilla actually, if I remember correctly, I think is released from the ice because of climate change.
There
Yep,
we
there
go.
it is.
baby.
If everyone wants to live, save the planet.
I'm trying to find it, like, just to make sure I'm just being like truthful. So pretty much like the aliens show up and they start controlling, like they always do. They end up controlling the monsters. So the monsters start destroying the entire globe. It's not just something in Japan. So like Rodan is in New York City, and Anguirus attacks Shanghai. King Caesar attacks Okinawa. Like all kinds. Like they're all over the place. So pretty much like Godzilla, like he gets out of the ice and he has to go like all around the globe and pretty much kick all these monsters' asses. And like you get to see like the greatest hits. You get to see the shortest fight in Godzilla history, which is Godzilla versus Zilla.
Bitch.
Heck yeah.
So Zilla is them poking fun at the '98 movie. So you see you see the Godzilla from the '98 movie, and for some reason, even though he didn't do this in the movie, he like goes into like, he kind of goes like a Sonic move where he like curls up and he's like this spiky ball that he heads towards Godzilla, and then Godzilla punts him into the sun. And it's like only like six. I
How
think
you
it's
gonna
like,
kick it if there's spikes? Okay.
I don't know, man. It was just them trying to mock
No.
the
His
Americans.
I'm
scales
butthurt
are
now.
harder than the spikes.
I'm
Duh.
butthurt. There ain't no way that bitch would take on 98 Godzilla. But anywho,
But yeah, so like he like punts him into the sun. It's like only like 16 seconds. It's the shortest recorded fight in Godzilla history. So the American one has that distinction always. But you just get to see him just go and he just kicks more butt. You get to see a new version of what's his face, Gigan. This one's a like really cool one. That's not so much like, because in the 70s, you know, he's kind of like this chunky green monster that has like, he had the spikes in the wings, but this one is just a lot more. It's sleek and it's like just more alien and more menacing, which is always really cool. And so they like pretty much like, I just enjoy that it's just all these greatest hits. And I love that they did this in the 50th anniversary, and they did it right before they went on a 10-year hiatus. So it's not like, it's not a better story than it is like for the American ones or anything. It's, you know, the effects aren't groundbreaking, but like just getting to see Godzilla pretty much just go on like a revenge tour. I think like before a 10-year hiatus, I think it just, I don't know, it's just really enjoyable. So I think that one's my favorite, just because, I mean, it's silly, it's cheesy, which is what Godzilla is always about. And you get to see him just destroy like all these different monsters. Some monsters like you probably wouldn't even know about because you didn't go that far back in the catalog until they pulled them in for Final Wars, so that way they could hit these greatest hits. So,
You know, just from that description, I got this weird thought about Godzilla basically being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out. And then he's gone for 10 years.
Probably. That's probably him saying fuck you to everybody, and he's like, Anguirus, he's like, you're cool, like, we're homies, like, but everybody else, fuck them. Like,
Yep.
Jeez.
fuck this. He's like going into the ocean while just giving everybody the bird, like the bird, just fuck you. Like,
Peace among worlds.
apparently there was like a planet that was headed towards Earth, which I didn't remember. So I really only remember the fights between the monsters, but that's really what I only watch it for. So
That's fair.
all the stuff that they do with like the humans and the aliens and stuff, that's just
Yeah.
background to me. Like, I'm just here just to see Godzilla
I mean,
kick the
same
crap
with
out
all
of
the
people.
newer movies, like
Yeah.
any of them really. It's like I don't care about the human side of this story.
The story is superfluous.
Yeah.
We just need the interaction.
I enjoyed it more in the 2014 one. I liked Aaron Taylor Johnson's story, and kind of just his like exasperation that everywhere he went, these monsters would fucking show up. Like, I go to Hawaii after my dad died because of the Mudos, and then what a surprise, the Mudos are here, and so is Godzilla. So like, I feel like, and then that's when he's like, you know what, I'm fucking tired of this. I'm gonna bring the bomb to them. Like,
There you go.
That's what my imagination is. I didn't like the human story in King of Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of glaring holes, and they were all kind of just dicks. So
There were definitely some holes in the story, but again, I don't have a lot to compare it to as far as Godzilla movies. So I was like,
the plots aren't tight everywhere else, but like
that's kind of what I've heard, and the little bit that I've seen, I'm like, okay, well, people like it for something. It's not that, but that's cool.
yeah.
I actually can't think of any holes in the. I mean, I'm sure there were, but I was like in the '98 one, maybe that's why it didn't bother me as much because plot holes bother me a lot in movies.
Yeah, there's no glaring ones, I don't think.
Kind of like you told me, like in that King of Monsters with that lady, like you pointed out, like that lady at the end, like.
Pretty much everything has to do with the lady.
Yeah, like I mean, like at the end, like it's like all of a sudden she was with the bad guys the whole time. Like what?
I just let all my.
What kind of mother are you bringing your child around to all of this if you're one of the bad guys?
I mean, the little bit of that one that I saw, the '98 Godzilla movie, it did
Well, I was
kind
talking
of.
about the one that you just saw.
Oh,
Yeah, the woman with her child. Like I was telling
Yeah.
him about how like you realize like if she was in with the bad guys the entire time, she just let like them come in, kill all her coworkers, and threaten her child. And it's like, and they didn't really get anything out of it. Like,
Yeah.
like there was no benefit out of them doing this scenario.
Yeah.
Like they could have just disappeared with the orca.
yeah, exactly. That was kind of dumb. But were you saying you couldn't think of any plot holes in the '98 one?
Not from what I can remember. I mean, like I said, I'm sure there
So-
are a couple out there, but I just don't remember it.
One of the things that bothered me in the little bit that I saw was that they got a biologist who was studying earthworms that were in Chernobyl's affected area. I understand they were going for he studies creatures that are
Radiation.
affected by radiation, but that's such a stretch.
Big difference
Like,
between
I-
earthworms and lizards.
Double-headed earthworms and a giant fucking lizard the
Yeah.
size of a skyscraper.
Exactly. I was like, I mean, I could see where somebody would maybe say that. It's still fucking stupid, but
Yeah.
I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think I like Monarch a lot better that they did in the new ones. The organization that was dedicated
Yeah.
to the Titans, it made a lot more sense that they would have all this research done.
yes. Yeah.
Monarch is
True.
cool.
Also, I always wondered. I was like, so when you learn to be a biologist, do you learn how to distill urine how to distill blood into urine to take a pregnancy test? Because he was like really good at that to find out if Godzilla was pregnant. And I was just like, I feel like, how did you learn this?
Yeah, like, who
Distill
just knows
blood
that
into
information?
urine?
Or well, like, because
weird.
remember, like he got like didn't he get like a chunk of the Godzilla after she ate all the fish, and he like took the blood and he like put it through a formula and it came out as urine to
Right.
like test.
So you can do blood tests to find out if you're pregnant. There are different hormones. So
Right.
that's what they were testing
But
for.
it just looked
not-
like
but
on
no-
that,
no,
like
it
it's
w-
coming out the other side as urine.
No, it was because he went to the store and he bought the ones that you pee on. I mean, I don't know. If you bleed on the ones you buy from the store, does it also show positive?
I don't-
Okay.
I don't
So he
think so,
basically
no.
pulled the pee out of
mean,
the blood and then did
yeah,
the stick in the
I-
pee.
There you go, baby.
Maybe
So
there's some
that's-
plot holes here.
we have
too.
found
That's definitely not a thing. Now, I will say that plasma, when it comes out from blood, like if you've ever given plasma before, you see it like come out in the tube or whatever. It looks
Yeah, we've all been
kind
college
of
students.
like whitish.
like
off-white.
whitish or
Fish.
orangish,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
orange, but like kind
Like
of
an
yellow
off-white?
tinted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems like that would look kind of like urine, but I don't think it would work with a urine test. To
Yeah,
just
that's
get that,
he
so-
just went to a convenience store and just bought a bunch of the urine tests. Like,
Did
I
they
mean,
just
I'm
not
not a
think-
biologist, so
Did
I'm
they just
not
think-
saying they're wrong,
I don't
but
think-
I'm saying
shit
I
does
have
sound
questions.
that doesn't
If
sound
any of our
right.
female
No, yeah, but
viewers
that
want to
doesn't
let us
sound right.
know,
yeah, now I'm curious. Honestly, like I'll when I'm watching the '98 one, I'll take a Snapchat and send you it so you can see it in action.
yeah, send that to
I
me
think-
too. I want to see that.
I think that one's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I
so-
think
it
it
is,
might
yeah.
be.
yeah, that's when I tried to watch it, and then I got
Got pulled
distracted,
away,
and I was
yeah.
like, now I have a reason to pay attention, though.
Yeah, dude. There's some. Yeah, no, there are probably glaring potholes that we just.
Yeah,
I remember watching
again,
it when I was
it's
like
probably
13.
been a
so
long
like,
time ago since
Yeah.
I watched that.
I wasn't as well versed in cinema as I am now.
Fair.
Also, the audience at the time was not as sophisticated as it is now, so they could
98's
pull a
were-
lot past the audience, and they'd just be like, "Oh, yeah, cool, that's how that
Especially in,
works."
like a sci-fi
Yeah.
type movie, like it's like okay, sure.
Yeah, the genre hadn't really evolved by then.
Machine
Kind
pulls
of like
pee out of blood. Cool.
kind of like superhero movies. You know, you can get away with something as basic as like the original Spider-Man, and it'd be okay. Like
True.
or the original X-Men. It's like, but now if you tried pulling that stuff, people would be like, "This is generic garbage.
Yeah. And then there would be 12 websites that were made about it that were all plastered all over Google whenever you tried to search for that movie. That'd be all you see, people tearing it apart.
Always.
Heck yeah.
That's what I live for.
Yeah.
I love to destroy other people's crafts.
Absolutely. Especially when they're actually better at it than you would be, but you can see the things they did wrong.
I could shoot this
Great.
better. Me with no experience at all directing.
Yeah, exactly.
How hard could it be?
See, that's why I'd be a producer, because I can do big picture. You know, I can be like, this doesn't seem right. Let's not do this. But I can't be the guy that's like directing it, and I'm just like, whoa, 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 this doesn't make sense.
Wait a minute here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a real
Alright, well.
powerhouse of a movie. Just all the monsters.
It was, dude. Like there were so many monsters in it. Like it was just.
See, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what every Godzilla like fan wants to see is all the fucking monsters coming out fighting each other.
Also, I think it's the first one I was like shown to the Japanese ones, because I had a best friend in high school and he was obsessed with all the Japanese Godzillas, and I think he showed me Final Wars first, and I didn't even know what these things were, and I was like, this is awesome. But then like
Heck yeah.
that kind of grandfathered me into like some of the cheesy hokiness of the original ones, because it's like, you know what? I know these monsters are cool. I'll stick with it. Like,
Because there's
There
some
you
pretty
go.
like cheesy fight scenes from the original Japanese ones. I think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
one where they like hoist the suit horizontally and just launch it across the fucking stage to like show that he's like flying to like kick something.
probably.
But it's really funny.
Sounds about right.
I do that in a lot of kung fu movies too.
Heck
so,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's classic.
No, they actually stay in the air that
They
long.
actually fly, dude.
They defy physics.
I can balance on top
But
of
in-
it.
They're
like-
that good at
And
their,
like, in like
at
one of
their
those
art.
martial arts
I know
movies, it
people can do
looks
that.
it looks cool.
No, I
but
mean,
whenever
with
you
just
like
my
pick up
hands.
like a big heavy suit and like launch it across this fucking stage, it just
It was
looks
the 70s,
Like when
right?
it rises up
janky.
90 degrees, turns one, just 90.
And you hear a
and
jet
shoots
noise.
forward. The head doesn't even turn to look forward, like it's
It
still
looks-
facing
it
down to the
looks
ground. And
janky.
shoots forward.
All right, kiddo.
Mm.
What's your
Right.
favorite movie?
You've had
So
more than
my
enough
favorite
time.
movie, and I'm gonna get some shit from this from you guys. I haven't actually watched it, but I intend to watch it because
He
it's
said-
on
he said
HBO.
the 98 one. So.
I said the least popular one out there, so go
It's
for
on
it.
it's on HBO
Are-
Max.
Never
Are
mind,
you
you're
saying
wrong.
that your favorite Godzilla movie is one you haven't seen but
I'm
intend
going
to
to
see?
watch it. I am going to watch it, and I
That's
know I'm going to
exactly what he
enjoy
just
it.
said.
I
You
know I'm
can't
going to
do
enjoy
that.
it. Yes,
is that
I
what
can.
you're gonna get shit about?
Yes.
Because you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Oh, you're definitely getting shit for that then.
What the fuck?
Anyways, my favorite one is Godzilla versus Megalon because it has all three of my favorite like antagonist monsters. It has Megalon, Jet Jaguar, and Gigan. Those are freaking cool. So the whole plot of the movie is like,
Could you explain to them what those monsters are?
so
Tell us the plot of the
Megalon,
He
movie, why
can't.
don't
He
you?
hasn't seen it.
Megalon is like this big beetle monster. He has like drills for hands. And basically what he is he's from this race of people that live underground called the...
Oh,
What are they
explains the
called?
drills.
Yeah, that explains the drills because he lives
Sounds like
underground.
Beedrill.
But yeah, he has drills on his hands. He comes from the underground. Jet Jaguar is a robot humanoid who can like shrink and like grow really tall. And Gigan, like we said, is the guy with the buzzsaw. Yeah, it's very anime. Like if you don't know, the original like Toho also created Ultraman, and Ultraman was this guy who was like in like a suit and like kind of looked like Power Ranger-ish, but he could like grow and shrink with like.
Wasn't he the
Oh,
one that
yeah.
if you did this, it like
Yeah,
created, like,
yeah. And there was like a whole bunch of like Ultraman characters. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's beside the point. It was Jet Jaguar, Megalon, and then Gigan, the one with the buzzsaw. So the whole plot of the movie is like there's more nuclear testing. So it's more like it's again on the propaganda side of like, oh, you shouldn't do nuclear testing because it disrupts this subterranean like culture underneath the ground. And they're like, we must destroy the surface world, and we're gonna release Megalon. And so the whole plot of the movie is.
That's the plot for half the movies.
Honestly, yeah. Godzilla fights Gigan and Megalon because the subterranean people are trying to take over the Earth because they're like, we don't like you guys freaking dropping nukes and disrupting our like way of life. And then Gigan comes out of nowhere. I actually don't know why Gigan appears because I haven't watched the movie. So
We're just gonna do the meme aliens.
aliens. I'm pretty sure because I was reading up on
Pretty
the
fitting
alien.
for once.
I was reading up on the alien race, and apparently they're the reason why they're sending out Gigan and King Ghidorah is because their planet was polluted by another race of aliens. So they're basically like following the chain of like violence of going. Their planet's polluted. They see Earth. They're gonna take over Earth, and they're gonna make a utopia out of it. So
How?
Gigan, I have no freaking
We're pretty
idea.
polluted too. Like, dude.
I have no idea.
Too late.
Maybe
power
they
of
have
Titans.
technology that can reverse our level of pollution, which is less
Probably.
than their level of
I mean, if
pollution
they
was.
discovered freaking interstellar,
Twist is we're the aliens that went and polluted their planet because ours was getting too bad.
honestly, if you discover interstellar travel and you know how to like, you find a race of giant lizards and make them into a cyborg, don't you think you can kind of figure out your pollution problem?
I mean, I would
Because
hope.
Gigan is a
Yeah, but
race
what's
of
gonna wow the
aliens.
masses? Hey guys, we scrubbed the air. Or hey guys, I made this whole fucking beetle thing.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
you guys remember how your tax money was gonna go for the pollution? Yeah, well, we made this beefy boy, and it's fucking Gigan.
It's like, you know what? I can't say I'm upset about this.
Literally start
Fair.
just going like Island of Dr. Moreau on these bitches with like some power tools and like what
It's
animals
like,
and
oh,
power
yeah.
tools can we mix together
It's
here?
like, yeah, our race is coming together. We're gonna get rid of this pollution problem
A
coming from this
lizard
other
with a
alien
buzzsaw.
race. Gigan.
Geigen.
Well, yeah, that's what Gigan is like a lizard race that they captured and they made him into a cyborg so they can control him.
Stack.
So yeah, makes no fucking sense, but he's really cool because he has a buzzsaw. And
Oh, you didn't say he had a buzzsaw.
he has a buzzsaw on the belly. Don't you know?
I do now.
After the 5th time we said he has a buzzsaw on the belly.
Well, that's been more than 5.
Maybe
Don't you
Maybe
worry.
you should re-listen to this.
Did you get the buzzsaw on the belly part?
Like
but
at
yeah.
this point, we all just like put a bet number in there, and then you go review it. Whoever's closest wins a prize.
But yeah, I haven't watched that movie, but I know if I watch it, I'm gonna like it because I like Jaguar and Gigan.
Anyone else here kind of hoping he watches it and he just hates it?
Yes.
Nah, even if I hate
Absolutely.
it,
No,
even if
dude,
here,
absolutely,
mark
we're
my
gonna
fucking
ask you
words,
about this
mark
later.
my fucking words on this podcast. Even if it's utter garbage, like a big dumpster fire, I'm still gonna say it's the best fucking Godzilla movie.
I don't know.
So you're saying you're gonna lie
Ask.
just to protect your pride?
I mean, this guy supports 98.
yeah, but he
Ooh.
honestly
That was a good
likes
movie.
it.
Damn.
Utter hot garbage.
But he honestly likes it. So you're saying even if
And I'm
you,
gonna
At least I've
honestly
seen
like
my
it.
movie.
you just said even if you hate it,
I never
you're
said
not-
even if I hate it. I said even if it's utter hot garbage, I'm still gonna enjoy
he
it.
doesn't see it as utter hot garbage. That's
Exactly,
why he likes
but
it.
it is utter
So
hot garbage.
If
So
you
even if
see
it is utter hot garbage, I'm gonna respect it because I believe that I like that movie just like he likes 98.
no,
But I
no, no.
actually
If
liked it.
you
I don't have to
acknowledge
convince
that it's
myself I like
garbage,
it.
Neither do I
then
have to
you
convince
don't like
myself
it.
about Megalon versus Godzilla.
Do you see the disconnect here?
There is
I
no
see
disconnect.
what
There
you're
is such
saying.
connection.
That's what you're saying. Like,
He likes 98, even though it's utter hot garbage, and he can like justify why he likes it. I can justify why I like Godzilla
have we
versus
discussed
Megalon.
why it's utter hot garbage though? Like you say this,
Yeah, but he
it
has
had a
more-
very flowing story.
They completely disrupted the way the Godzilla looks. He looks like a fucking like weird
They
like lunch
rebooted
lady.
it. They did a twist on it that you didn't like. I was like, that doesn't really make it a whole.
Rebuttal?
Therefore, it's utter hot garbage.
Oh wow!
I don't like it.
Case in
Can't
point,
argue
me.
with that logic.
that wasn't.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like 98. It was a good movie for what it was, but I don't personally don't like
So
it.
it's not utter hot garbage.
Now you okay?
I don't know.
All right, we're going in circles here.
Yep.
Okay, I have it in my notes that every week I'm gonna ask you about this movie.
Okay.
So make sure you watch
Go
this
ahead.
movie. At
I'm
some
gonna
point.
fucking watch it. I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this movie.
Okay. All right. Now that wraps up that. Wow, that was more tangent than normal.
Dumpster fire.
Honestly, I was worried that we wouldn't have much to talk about, but apparently we just talk about everything. So,
And some of it was actually on topic.
hmm,
Some.
I feel like the Discovery one was on topic.
let's say
We were talking about
85-15.
Godzilla still.
Discovery Zone.
Yeah, that was still on topic. We were talking about Godzilla.
The
It was a
10
much
seconds
needed tangent, Tyler.
Exactly.
Okay?
That
I
was a
didn't-
You
much
lay
needed
off
tangent.
DZ like that, okay?
Like I was really
Except
disappointed.
for the fact where I got my heart hurt.
Exactly. I was
That-
really disappointed to hear that it disappeared.
Oh.
I thought it was still a thing, and then when Tyler said no, it shut down in like 90s. I'm like, damn it.
It could still be a thing. Hold
Yeah,
out
but
hope.
not
Nope.
right now.
It's a small business. They're supposed to get some money.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Hey,
fool
fool
me
you
twice.
all.
You fool me once, you can't fool me again.
Heck yeah, let's get that freaking Bush fucking reference.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That was a
no.
J-Fred original.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
wasn't
know
trying to
either.
make it political, but you did.
Gosh,
My
stop
bad.
doing
second
that.
time.
My bad.
All right.
One more and we're throwing you out.
Do
Wait,
it
what was
again.
the first one that I said?
Do it.
What was the first one that I said?
I don't remember, but
I
I,
don't
mentioned
remember
that you were the one
episode.
that
No, I'm not gonna listen to the episode.
All right. So now we're gonna wrap that up, and we're gonna talk about our favorite third acts. So, you want to go? No.
Third acts, I'll go first.
Motherfucking-
Is it for another
98.
movie you haven't seen?
Yeah, it's for a movie that I have seen.
Okay.
That's good. We
Yeah,
like
what-
those here.
From what I've read, this third act's pretty neat.
For this one, it probably should be one that you've seen.
Third act is gonna be the '98 Godzilla. No, it's gonna be the first Godzilla.
gonna
It's gonna be
cut
the. It's gonna be the 2014 Godzilla.
Oh, so you like the Mutos?
Here's the fucking thing.
He's
dude.
very flip-floppy today.
No,
okay?
because Godzilla holds a very fucking near
I
and
just
dear fucking
political
place in my
flip-flop.
heart.
I love
Is
how
he trying to run
transparent
for
your
office?
buttons are on this issue. Like,
Fuck.
Won't get
I
my
really.
vote, but
Here's the
I'm
thing.
saying.
I like the first 2014 Godzilla.
okay,
I just didn't like the main
the Mutatos.
yeah, the Mutatos. I didn't like I didn't like the freaking I didn't like those guys. I don't know why. I feel like they could have picked
You don't have to make it that much more apparent.
I feel like they
stop
could
it.
have I
that
feel like
would
they
be
could have picked kaijus that people know, and that's what I feel like Godzilla King of the Monsters got right. Is they got King Ghidorah for one, and Rodan and Mothra, and those are like the ones that people really enjoy. They did show a piece of Anguirus, but he was one of the monsters that kind of appeared whenever King Ghidorah did like his big like yell to all the monsters. What?
That's a different movie.
I know. Anyways, I like part 3 of 2014 Godzilla. That's it.
Why?
I like the visuals. I liked whenever he did his atomic breath blast thing, and he like grabbed like one of the like.
That was
freaking
pretty cool.
thing.
He
That
was-
was really cool. He like
Yeah.
charged it up, opened his fucking mouth, just fucking blasted in.
Kind of
I
like
rem-
Drax. They're
Yeah.
hard on the outside, but maybe they're hard on the inside.
I remember watching it with my friend, and that shit happened. We're like, oh hell yeah, dude, it's so freaking sick. And like you're in the theater, and like the freaking rumbling noise starts happening. It's like, oh, it's happening, dude. It's such a cool. If the listeners have the time to see that scene, it's worth a watch just because of the freaking like, because he's in like smoke, and you see like his tail lighting up in the smoke, and it's just like leading up to his head. That's it. I like the third act. Don't like the enemies, but I like the movie.
They look cool.
Yeah, they did look cool.
Maybe they just did that because they didn't want to get something too familiar because they want the focus to be on Godzilla.
Godzilla, maybe.
So obviously, if they threw Ghidorah in the first one, it's kind of like it's not the same as a Godzilla solo movie at that point.
Yeah.
It's like Godzilla versus Ghidorah.
But we also barely saw Godzilla in the 2014 one.
That's fair.
I mean, I get what you're
We
saying.
saw,
and
we
that's
saw
probably
the
what they're
world's
going
largest
for.
landfill, but Godzilla not so much.
Talking about the gym in Nevada.
Yeah.
Right, that
Yucca
huge-
Mountain.
No, I was just
Yeah.
talking about Nevada. Tyler. Like,
That's another thing I feel they did wrong is
The
they,
Mutos killed Las Vegas. No, it always looks like that.
It's like, oh my
I was
god,
like, you'd think, but
they ravaged the entirety of Nevada. No, it's just Nevada.
no, it's pretty untouched, honestly. It just looks that way.
They actually jumped over. That's when they got the wings. They flew over Nevada.
they just look around Nevada and they're like, this place is crap. They see like one tree
It's
that's
like-
perfectly fine and they just go over and kick it.
It's like
They're
that-
yeah,
Knock
fuck
over a
Nevada.
It's like that really shitty fucking joke from Family Guy. Godzilla goes to Haiti. It's like, oh my god. We didn't make that joke. Family Guy made that joke. But it's such a good joke because of how shit Haiti is located.
Really now I'm just
Wow.
wondering like how many people remember what happened in Haiti.
Dude, I don't even remember. It was like earthquake,
Yeah.
tsunami, and a hurricane. Mm-hmm.
Rough stuff.
They're just geologically like in a wrong spot, but that's another topic for a different podcast.
Maybe the natural disasters one.
You mother-
If you want to make a movie pitch about the plight of Haiti, you go on. Like,
Oh god.
not gonna stop you on that.
I mean, that would be more of a documentary, I think.
Holy
Oh my God.
fuck. Right, so we know which part we're cutting out now.
I don't
If
say
that's
anything
the
bad
part that
about
gets
what was
cut
said.
out, then okay.
Yeah, I feel like from all the other things that have been cut out, I feel like that's more tame. Because we didn't say
Nothing's been
anything.
cut out.
Yeah, because we didn't say anything bad about Haiti. It's just geologically, it's in a
No.
bad fucking spot.
Nothing's been cut out.
There are no edits in Bossing Say.
There are no edits.
Now there definitely are.
Oh no, am I gonna go to the lake? Please, not again, Tyler.
You're getting it just permanently.
Not after Ultraman. All right, but yeah, that's my favorite act. Third act.
All right.
2014 Godzilla.
Sounds good.
I bet you can't figure out which movie I'm going to say has my favorite third act.
This hidden Godzilla movie I had watched and I never told any of you. Ho ho ho.
Ha ha.
It was actually Godzilla versus King Kong.
No.
I went into the future, saw Godzilla versus King Kong, came back. It's a fucking blast.
It's amazing. I can't tell you anything about it, but just trust me.
But guess who's in it? Godzilla and King Kong.
Don't tell anyone. It's actually him. Yeah. It was a good ending. I really liked it. I feel like...
I don't know if you said the actual movie before you said that.
Oh, I said it before several times. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just felt like they needed to be a reminder.
That's fine.
Kind of like the buzzsaw on the belly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know the guy had a buzz on the belly?
Wait. What?
It's pretty
Hold the
cool.
freaking phone.
He uses it in the video game. My goodness.
He actually has a
Get out of
he actually
town
has
and take a
sander,
bus.
And he just rolls on some wood and it just
I would
makes
love-
it smooth.
I would love to see.
That
I would
actually
love to
kind of
see
turns me
freaking.
on.
I would love to see freaking. I would love to see fan art of Gigan as like what's it called?
Bob the Builder.
Yeah, like a Bob the Builder. He has like a hard hat. He has like his little buzz saw. He has like a fucking sander.
Where's your toolbox? I am the toolbox.
He has a hammer.
Oh.
That'd be pretty funny.
I mean, seeing him put a power sander to another monster's face would be pretty intense.
That'd be pretty fucking terrifying.
Right.
Like,
Yes, it would.
Almost more scary than the buzzsaw.
yeah. Well, it depends on the rating. You know, the buzzsaw could be scary, but we've seen it where it's like, cheesy garbage. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, if it was like in like this one, like we'd probably see some like
Like if we're
blood
talking
and stuff.
hostile
Like,
type stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
you see him like belly flop on someone with the buzzsaw going.
Yeah.
You
That'd
see
be pretty fucking
Godzilla,
cool.
like, looking all fat. He's just running. He's like,
Time to
and
shave some
Gigan's
fat off
fucking-
Gigan's like, looks at Ghidorah. He's like, you want the white meat or the dark meat? He just runs and lands on him.
He runs up. He's like, "Give me a hug, buddy." Bzzz. Yeah.
I've never seen a picture of this dude. Does it extend from him, or is it literally just half a blade sticking
Oh,
out?
it's half a blade sticking
So
out.
it doesn't move.
No,
it just sits-
no,
he
it
has
just,
to hug them.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying it's a good design. Like, it just looks cool.
What do you mean it's not a good design?
Like,
He's
I mean,
beau-
like practical.
No, practical is fucking shit, but like monster wise, he's beautiful.
Especially because he doesn't have hands to grab them with. He only has
Yeah,
like
they chopped off
he
his
only
hands.
has, like,
yeah.
hands?
he has scythes.
Yeah, he has
So, like,
scythes.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, the
So-
scythe hands would be useful. That'd be cool, but
But like
I feel like at
it's
that point
harder
the
to grab
buzzsaw.
people. Like,
Yeah, at that point the buzzsaw kind of seems negligible.
So your favorite third act is King of the Monsters.
Yes,
us
the
more.
only one that I've seen.
Tell us more.
Tell us more.
We would like to know more.
So I feel like I probably should or was supposed to like the eco-terrorist crazy bitch more than I did. I was really happy that she ended up dying.
I'll sacrifice myself. You're like, oh no.
Yeah. No, don't go.
Bummer.
Please, you can make it into the craft. No. Okay. Drive away. Bye.
Wait, I could just put it on here and put a cinder block on it. Oh no, we're already
Oh,
leaving.
yeah. They've already started it up and you can't get on afterwards. They've got the buckle your seatbelt sign on. It's the whole thing. Sorry, but thanks. Bye. You're the worst. I mean, best. Yeah. Like it was cool that she ended up deciding she was actually going to help humanity instead of trying to destroy it, which she thought was helping by destroying it, which
We can
get the
control
whole-
them. What
We
about
are-
this says you can control them?
We are
Right.
we are the virus.
Yeah. I mean, I will agree with that, but I don't think that means we need to extinguish ourselves. Like, anyway.
Are we
whole
becoming
thing.
eco-terrorists throughout the course of this episode?
You what?
What?
Oh, I'm not. I can guarantee you that.
I feel like a lot of the talk's starting to sound a little like eco,
I mean, that's definitely what they were. Again, I don't think
you guys are just saying that your views align with these people, and they are eco-terrorists. So, like, what's that saying about you?
No, I'm saying that I agree that people could be seen as a virus. There's definitely a strong correlation there where you could make that argument. That doesn't mean I think we need to be exterminated. Like,
So you're not in favor of a new plague?
maybe. I mean, we have a current one, and
Get-
that's-
Getting very vague with you again, okay? Like, no.
yeah. So total extermination? No, absolutely not. Maybe thin out the population a little
So,
bit.
like Thanos snap.
That's a bit
I mean, that's maybe more extreme than I was thinking, but
25%.
you know.
I'll give you 25%.
yeah,
24% is a good
yeah,
number.
fair.
Every child after the firstborn is what you're saying now.
No, fuck no.
I mean, it would lower the population.
I'm the second born in my family.
I was about to say we'd all be safe, but no, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm safe.
Well, that's 25%. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Oh, that's fair. Well,
Calling 1 out of 4 here.
Outdid by math. How does that fucking feel, dude?
although, if we go by birth date, then he's the fourth one.
Fuck.
Ooh, that's true. You're lucky we're not all related.
Or are we gonna pull like that like cliche thing where like it's anybody
We're safe either
born
way,
in
Tyler.
this? Have you ever seen those movies where it's like a virus goes around, but anybody over the age of 20 or 21 like immediately dies from the virus? There's a couple movies like that, but like
I've heard of the
they're usually
concept.
terrible sci-fi
Yeah.
movies.
Now the
I'll still
real
be
question
alive,
is,
though.
have you seen this movie?
no, but there's many.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Have you
No.
seen any movie?
No.
Every episode, you're gonna
He's
get
like, what are
asked about
movies?
that.
He just goes and reads the IMDb synopsis. So he's like, guys, I know things. I know the films.
Heck yeah, dude. What do you think I did for Harry Potter?
I was saying, at least that one you owned up to it. You were like, well, I guess you owned up to it.
I was going to say, he did on this one too.
Yeah.
I like
I
how
owned
he's
up to
like, I'm
both.
going to get shit for this. And we're like, oh, he's probably about to
I
pick some
did.
trash one.
And I
It's
did
like,
get shit
because
for
I
it.
haven't seen it. It's like, there it is.
I did, and I did get shit for it, but I stood my motherfucking ground, even if I was wrong.
And we're going to hold you accountable to that too.
Yeah.
I will fucking watch it.
I'll never admit on this show that I haven't watched something because now we're gonna make me go watch it now.
But yeah, anyway, movies where people over like 20 die, I think that'd be pretty stupid, honestly.
They are pretty stupid. No, yeah,
Yes.
their whole plot is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I mean, I think we obviously all know what I'm gonna go with here, but not that I really remember how
Surprise us.
98. What?
Surprise us.
Then Godzilla,
So the cartoon, right?
the 97 Godzilla.
The what?
Prequel, the one that no one knows about.
Secret release.
It's actually Pacific Rim that
This
I
guy
was
ain't
gonna
gonna
bring up.
stop.
No. No, I mean obviously it was 98. Like that one was my favorite one. It's only one of the. I mean I've seen these two newer ones and I really liked King of Monsters. The 2014 Godzilla was like it was okay. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't to me as good as the 98 or the King of Monsters one. Again, like I like visuals. I like seeing the badass monsters and how they look, but just how they ended the 98 one, I thought it kind of left you like kind of like a monster movie, like almost like a faux horror movie type. Like the monster dies, creature dies, whatever, but there's still that suspense at the end, like it could come back because you see a baby Godzilla like hatch and open its eyes. It's like okay, so obviously there's a possibility for them to like. I mean they obviously left it up to us to just infer things until, I mean, I guess the cartoon was kind of a sequel, kind of not, but like it was just one of those things where it's like, well, it's over, but is it really? Because like we saw this baby, who knows if other babies existed? Like it just kind of leaves it up to the imagination. I like that they through the whole thing stood their ground on him being like a monster. It wasn't like oh hey, like he's a monster, and then like now he's turned to our side to help fight something else. Like, because to me that's very cliche. It's like, especially like looking at what Godzilla is, like I wouldn't have been surprised. But no, I like that they stuck it through with him being just like, just this monster that's kind of out of place. Like he doesn't know how the fuck he turned into that. Like he was an animal that got turned into this monster. He's just kind of doing his own little thing. And when people piss him off, he reacts. Like, so I thought it was just a different take on it than like, because I mean, when you think about it, he wasn't always a monster. He was literally a fucking lizard in the water, and then he got turned into a huge, gigantic monster. And he did some bad things, but it was funny. It was cool.
He was just a marine iguana chilling, and then a big nuclear bomb lands on him.
Exactly, like Bikini Atoll. Just
I gotta say, when I first watched it, I didn't know that he was gonna be like coming back. Like when after they killed all the babies, and then like he came out of the stadium, and that's when the whole chase scene happened. Like I wasn't expecting him to still be alive.
Like you thought he was
and
gone.
Like I was like, okay, they killed all the babies. This is the end of the movie, and then he showed up again, and I was like, oh fuck, like,
Right, like,
and
no,
then they did that whole
nope.
chase, like.
Oh heck!
he had some fight left in him.
Yeah, and I was like, well, they're fucking dead. They're in a fucking taxi cab. Like,
What's gonna happen here?
yeah,
And then movie cinema
Yeah,
stuff happens. Obviously, yeah.
you blind people with your lights because they're looking at you through the tunnel. That kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't think that he was still alive, and then boom, there he was. I was like, oh, okay, all right,
Already then.
Still is. Yeah.
There you go.
cool. Yeah, I didn't realize for a long time that there was a TV show afterwards because I didn't watch the '98 one until I was like 13, so it wasn't big news that the TV show was around because the TV show had already been over for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, they just leave it on this cliffhanger. I was like, this one egg, and they don't even tell us what happens to it. And then like a few years later, I found out there was the show, and that was the one from the one from the movie, and I was like, okay, now I feel a little bit better. Like, although like it's kind of odd that they did it into an animated show afterwards. I was like, but at least they did something with it.
I feel like they did it justice by making it into an animated show because I feel like they couldn't really add anything else as a movie wise. Also, with looking at the monsters, they look pretty cool. Yeah. I feel like they did do it justice making it animated and not continuing to like live action movies because I feel like it works better as animated than the one-off 98 one.
I mean, I thought it was good, like as an animated show. It didn't feel out of place. Like, I mean, obviously, like it would have been great to see it as another live action, but I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
It still turned out really good. Like, I mean, it's not like it was a shitty animation or anything.
No,
like,
it looked really good. It's better than nothing. That's why I feel like they did justice with animation.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, for me, I think my favorite third act is probably going to be King of Monsters. I love the cinematography of the fights and all that. Like that scene where Ghidorah unleashes the lightning and there's like that like cloudy background and there's just like all the lightning just like lancing off of it. I was like, that's fucking amazing. Like, exactly. And like seeing like, and you get Godzilla's atomic blast in there. You get to see like, kind of a 2v2 thing with like Mothra attacking Rodan and Ghidorah attacking Godzilla. So, and now like it felt like a little bit more level because Godzilla was amped up after the nuclear bomb. So I feel like they really did justice with that fight scene. Not that any of the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah ones they did earlier were bad. They did those with really good quality ones too. But I really like seeing monsters fight. That's why I watch these movies. Like, there could be some terrible story in the background. I don't give a shit. Like,
as long as they're fighting.
It's like with Power Rangers. Like, I don't watch it because, it's got good story. Like, I watch it because, I get to watch these dudes that, dress up as spandex, fight monsters, and then they become a mech and they fight a bigger monster. Like,
wasn't sure where that was going at first. But
no, I mean,
I was going to say, other than the mech, I can do that.
I mean, I don't know if I want that.
He's got more suit in his car, dude. Just ask him.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm an easy man to please. I don't need, like, that's why I like Pacific Rim and stuff. Like, just give me giant monsters fighting giant robots, or just giant monsters fighting giant monsters. I'm in. Like, and they had that in this movie in spades. I really liked how they did Ghidorah in this one. He felt like a legitimate threat, and that's really hard to do with a creature that doesn't have arms.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like when they released him from the ice and he came out, I was like, oh fuck, like this is really fucking terrible. Like they're fucking screwed. And then Godzilla almost dies, and like you're like, Ghidorah's the apex predator. Like this is it. Like, and I did like what Millie Bobby Brown's character did. Where she took the orca and she took it to the Boston Stadium to like attract them all there. That was like the one good thing people did in that.
Yeah.
And it was a cool sequence because I loved when Ghidorah like looked at her through the window and then you see like the giant eye. I thought that was really cool. I was also like, she's super dead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I loved the scene where Ken Watanabe's character got to the guy that was in charge of Monarch, the one that we've seen since Godzilla, I guess 2 movies, but like the guy that's always been the one that's been like the leading expert and stuff, like seeing him take the bomb to go and save Godzilla because Godzilla was about to die and sacrificing himself, but like fulfilling his life's work. I don't know. I really appreciated that. Like I really like that because like, yeah, maybe it shouldn't have been him, but at the same time, should it have been anybody else but him? Yeah. Like, he's always been the big proponent of Godzilla. He's the one that's been fighting for these titans, saying that Godzilla was the good one and he keeps him in line. So it makes sense that he'd want to sacrifice himself to be able to, save his greatest life's work.
Yeah.
Nice little closure for him.
Is that the one? I don't know if I'm thinking of this one or if I'm thinking of Pacific Rim. Is that the one where he goes in the submarine down to that like underwater
That was this
temple
one.
place?
Yeah.
It was this
yeah.
one? Okay. Godzilla.
The Hollow
retreated down
Earth,
there or
yeah.
whatever? Okay. I just want to make sure I was thinking of the right movie.
No, that's that one. And they
I
find
saw it
like
one time when it came out. Okay.
and that one, and they find like the civilization, and it's like it turns out there was a civilization that predated civilization that worshipped the Titans and blah blah blah.
Like they like worship him as a god and everything. So.
Oh, and also the scene where Godzilla takes down Ghidorah and all of the Titans show up to like bow down to their new king was awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah, Like, I thought that was really amazing. We got to see some old ones, you know, some fan favorites. We got to see some new ones, like that giant mammoth. Like,
Yeah, the giant mammoth.
so I thought that was really cool, and it really just gives you the feeling that this is going to be an entirely different world, on a scale that we didn't see. Like, in Godzilla, it felt kind of isolated, even though it wasn't. It felt like that.
Yeah.
Like in this one, with all of them being, you know, attacking around the globe, and then them all showing up to like to be like, Godzilla's our new king. I was like, these motherfuckers aren't going away. This isn't going to be one of those things where Godzilla kills something and then disappears in the ocean. Like, these are a part of our society now.
It's basically the police force. Like, none of y'all attack the humans. Humans won't attack y'all.
Well,
If they do, let me know. I'll handle it. I'll do what
talk to
Godzilla
them.
does.
I'll see what I can do.
I have a meeting at the UN.
Right.
But I just thought that was really cool, especially because it's called King of Monsters, to see him kind of be treated as an apex predator.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Mothra sacrifice, which I don't think was this last we've seen of Mothra. She always pops up again. But that was really cool, even though she was like the only casualty, which was like heartbreaking. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you could, like, Rodan survived, and you're like, why did Rodan survive?
Where the heck?
I guess.
Why the heck did this freaking
Kind of.
I mean, yeah,
freaking Mexican bird survives?
but Ghidorah was the main bad guy. He was supposed to die.
True.
But I don't know.
Always
I
a
just
bad guy.
I really enjoyed it. I know King of Monsters had some flaws, but I thought that the monster part was really good, and that's what really shined in the third act for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice little
Same.
third act.
Yeah.
I still feel like they could have made the jet into fucking Mechagodzilla.
I mean,
but-
obviously they should have done that.
but-
Like, especially, you don't do in the trailer, we're gonna this time we join the fight, and then it's just a
holy
giant
shit,
jet.
baby.
Like, that's probably like my biggest criticism forever. I don't care about the human story. I don't care about anything. You don't say we're gonna join the fight, and then it's just some big bomber. It's like, no, you join in Mechagodzilla, because this is how it's supposed to go.
Are the
Bombers are important, okay?
Are the mecha ones always
Bombers
like
win
have
wars.
people inside?
Yeah, usually.
No, because when I thought of it, like for example, like even with that one surviving head or whatever, like could the aliens not just like build a robot body and plug that life head onto
Oh,
it?
they do that.
Yeah, they do that.
Uh,
That's
it
where Mecha King Ghidorah comes from.
Depends, because there's been a lot of different versions of Mechagodzilla through the different eras. There's been some where they've been remote controlled. There's been some where people have a chip in them, which is random nonsense. There's some where like they were inside Mechagodzilla. So it really just depends. I mean, I would assume they'd be in it, just because, I mean, so science can only go so far.
They don't usually go like
AI has
cyborg.
made some pretty interesting advances
I guess it's
recently.
true. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
It'd be just as bad as the real thing.
What we really
If
needed was
not
that.
worse.
true.
We needed that bomber to transform into a humanoid form, and it turned out to be Godzilla.
That's what we need.
Mechagodzilla.
Godzilla versus Optimus Prime here.
I
versus
was gonna say,
Starscream.
Autobots.
Honestly,
Jet just flies in. Starscream.
honestly, we get an Optimus Prime speech, and they play "You've Got the Touch." Like, I'll watch it. Like,
Even though I would want to root for Godzilla in that, Optimus Prime might be able to take him down. He's got that sword, the blades. Like he'd be cutting him up probably.
Optimus Prime pretty much takes on all the Decepticons by himself. So,
Yeah.
True.
but that's for a different episode.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's my favorite one. I don't know. Quick wrap up. What's your guys' favorite kaiju in the Godzilla verse?
Jet Jaguar. Do you know he has a buzzsaw?
Say it so fast.
That's not even him.
No, I know.
Like Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
His name's Jet Jaguar.
He's a machine.
Yeah, he's a robot. He's a robot.
With jets, I assume.
No,
Cool.
his Jet's just his name. Jet Jaguar.
Oh.
That's just his name. But he got no jets in him.
Yeah, my name's Tyler. You think I lay tiles? Like,
For a while, I thought you did. Yeah.
Do you not? Why the heck do we have you in this house?
You only have tile.
Exactly,
part of
because
the
he's not doing his
kitchen.
job.
What's you, Jay Fred?
Seems like he's deep in thought.
Looking
so you
up
might
a
have
list
to
of
go.
them.
He's looking him up.
Go with Zilla.
You can say
Yeah,
Baby Godzilla.
either. I like both Godzilla and King Ghidorah, honestly. If I was just looking at the two and like judging them as individual monsters, probably King Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's cooler.
King Ghidorah is very
badass
cool,
one.
especially in this freaking movie. They made him look so
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah, he looked
Yeah.
awesome.
They made him look so cool.
Way better than a Netflix one.
Exactly.
They did a Netflix animated like trilogy like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and their version of King Ghidorah was these space portals opened up, and the like heads came down like the Hydra. Like, you didn't have an actual body. It was just these like,
came out of the portal.
yeah, there was like these ethereal heads that just came down.
Get this shit out of my
Like
face.
the dragon heads in Call of Duty Zombies.
God,
Okay.
yeah. It was an interesting take.
Where's my stocky body with no hands and big wings?
So for me, I mean, it'd probably be a tie between Ghidorah and King of Monsters and 98 Godzilla. I mean, I obviously don't remember the TV show that much. That plesiosaur, like sea serpent type one, that sounds kind of cool too.
I mean, that does sound pretty badass, yeah.
But like, no, the way they did King Ghidorah in this one, he just looked amazing, like, and pretty awesome. Probably more cool than like 98 Godzilla. So I'd probably choose King Ghidorah.
Okay.
Mr. Tyler?
It's tough because, you know, you want to go for like the obvious one that's like Godzilla.
This fool better say Baragon or King Caesar.
None of us did.
I guess that's true, yeah. I don't know. I guess it seems obvious to me.
Got the villain boner over here, so you know.
The Mutos are my favorite kaijus.
I mean,
we know.
I mean, it'd probably be Godzilla. Like, I don't know. I've just always really enjoyed him. Like, and I know like a lot of his designs that make sense, but like I love the atomic breath, and he's just a fucking badass who lays waste to cities. Like,
Heck yeah.
that's my preferred version of him. And and I think it's Godzilla 2000. He starts melting down, and so he gets really powerful. But he also starts like his body starts turning red, and he kind of looks like like parts of him's lava. And like that one looks really cool because he's like about to like that's him like near the end of his life.
Yeah.
But like I was ever since I saw that one, I was like, this is awesome.
They show him that way in Godzilla Unleashed and the Godzilla 2000. He's like all blistered and like red, and like red's coming out of his skin. It looks really cool.
Yeah, which that's a video game for anyone.
Yeah, that's a video game.
Yeah,
it's a whole like trilogy of video games, which I didn't know they were connected together.
So they do like kaiju fighting games that they did for like GameCube and stuff.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Destroy All Monsters. It was pretty cool.
It's Destroy All Monsters, Save the Earth, and Unleashed.
I played Destroy All Monsters.
Save the Earth is the best one of the three, in my opinion. Actually, no, yeah, Save the Earth, because that's the one that I played, and that's the one that made me love Jet Jaguar. Because I always used them, and I would play against with my brother, and I'd make myself super tiny and run around the fucking map. I'm like, you can't fucking catch me, bitch.
Oh my God.
He's like, God damn, he's like trying to step on you.
He's fucking like Godzilla. He's super slow, and I'm just Jet Jaguar fucking running around.
Have they ever done like a zombie Zilla or like any kind of undead?
Actually, no.
They sent him to hell. There's a comic book called Godzilla Goes to Hell.
Oh.
That sounds kind of
So
interesting.
it's about the
honestly,
closest
like-
thing.
Not a dead one would be really cool.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be something I've seen before.
That would be cool.
It'd be really cool. I mean, they could probably do one where it's kind of like maybe like the original Godzilla, because you know they've established a continuity already where like in a couple different eras where like the 1954 one was a different Godzilla, so you could just like have that one turn out to be like this like Rise, and it's like a zombified version.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There'd be like barnacles and stuff on it because it's in the ocean.
Make it a little more horror.
Davy Jones Godzilla.
Davy Jones comes out with a beard.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody got any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I never have last thoughts.
Do you have any first thoughts?
Before I forget, J. Fred,
Sometimes.
Geigen, Buzzsaw, Belly. Don't forget.
Never
Would you
forget.
just go watch
You're-
your movie already that you haven't seen?
Speaking in code, I don't understand.
I just can't. This does not compute. All right.
I'm not trying to decipher your code tonight.
Okay.
I gotta keep a fucking straight face for more than like half a second.
Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode on Godzilla. I know it was a campy mess, which is just like Godzilla. So
Heck yeah.
Can confirm.
Make sure to stay tuned. Next week, we're going to be doing that's our games episode, and we're gonna be doing it on Pokemon. I think a lot of us love Pokemon when we were kids, so this one's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, when we were kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
course.
we don't play no more.
I don't have
because we're adults.
5 of the games in my room right now.
That's cute.
That's cute.
I don't have.
I lost some of them. Okay.
Okay, that's cute.
I don't have it
So,
torrented on my computer.
If you really like us, make sure you go to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you give us 5 stars, you can give us any stars you want. But if you give us 5 stars, we'll go ahead and read your review online on the air. Since our last episode, we got one from PCC295, and he said, "Good for a few laughs. Hopefully more than a few, but can't win them all."
Can't
I mean,
win
a
them
few is
all.
better than
That was
none,
5
so-
stars.
That's 5 stars. I mean, the
Five.
ones-
There's more stars than there are words.
I mean,
I guess
it
it was
was,
exactly.
it was an effort. That's all that matters.
Thank you for the 5
I mean,
stars.
the first one we got was "love it" with an exclamation mark.
Heck yeah,
So If you want to write more, I'd
That's
love
an
to say
efficient
more.
review right there.
5 stars is 5 stars. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever gets us up in the algorithm. Like,
I mean, yeah. We appreciate the love, PC.
make sure you go and subscribe. You can do that everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Really, we're all over the place. So anywhere you listen to podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you know when new episodes are dropping. If you want to just keep track of us on social media, check us out on Facebook, Nerd of All Trades. Twitter is NOAT Podcast. On Instagram, we're nerd.ofalltrades. And then if you really enjoy what we're doing here and you want to see what we got going on behind the scenes, if you want to see a little bit more, check us out on Patreon. It's patreon.com/birchversecreate, BURCH, not like the tree. So in that one, there's all different kinds of tiers. Even if you do the $1 tier, we appreciate your support. Everything helps us just become a bigger and better podcast. We have specialized stuff for Nerd of All Trades. We have things like our $15 tier there's a monthly audience pitch episode, which is a special episode just for patrons, where we take your pitches and we talk about them. There's also a monthly movie commentary where we talk about a movie that we talked about that was like our favorite ones. You'll be deciding all that stuff. A lot of it's going to be voting, so make sure you hop on there. But even $1 gets you extra stuff. You get added to things like live streams. You get articles. You get input into what we're going to be talking about in the podcast, everything. So go check it out. Join our community. We'd love to have you. And the more, like I said, the more that you contribute, the bigger and better that we get. Better equipment, the more things we're about to do, more programming, all that fun stuff. So we have a lot of really great ideas, and we definitely want to show them to you. We just got to, kind of start cultivating that community. So, but that's all we have. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check us out next week for Pokemon. That one's going to be a blast. Until then, this is your host, Tyler Birch, signing off.
All right. This is Juan the newbie signing off.
This is J. Fred, the engineer, signing off.
Nope, not doing it. No. This is just Derek. I'm out.